Okay, good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Smudcast number 373, Sexism in Gaming with Paul Verhoeven. Not the filmmaker. I think there's...
Oh, no.
Not the director, right?
Yeah, not that guy. This is some other guy, unfortunately. He would be more interesting, I bet. But
What a shame.
Yeah, this is a TED Talks. Gah. I was listening to a few minutes of this. This is horrible. This is really bad. I mean, this is almost
What?
7-8
That's
years
a
old.
first.
Yeah,
Smut saying something is really bad?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was...
think
It might be really good now.
No,
it either might be really fucking good or abysmally bad.
this is apparently a guy, I think he works at Kotaku? Where the hell does he work? I can't recall. Maybe he's just published on Kotaku once or twice. But his opinions are so... Like, you can see the divide where it goes between, all right, he's into gaming, he knows his stuff, and then, oh, he's a completely feminist crazy person. You're just, it's so, he blends it so quickly. You're like, oh my God. So, not sure how that happened. And, well, you'll hear what he has to say.
It's because he played GTA 5 and he was bitching about it.
It is.
Oh,
It is terrifying. I just cannot believe the words coming out of his mouth. And he was making fun of the comments of people who were leaving comments on the GameSpot website review, which is fine, but it's just silly to hear his crap. And people having legitimate criticisms of the reviewer. So, not cool. Not nice.
This is also from 2014, isn't it? So this is thankfully pre-Trump, so I don't have to listen to Orange Man Bad.
Oh, thankfully. But this is 1 year after.
Small, isn't it?
Yeah, so 1 year.
That's a small accomplishment.
Yeah, but this is only 1 year after the game came out, and GTA 5 has gone through a few DLCs, I think, a few updates, multiplayer. So, I mean, it just keeps buying out monthly sales records. Not today, but maybe the past few years it did.
Well, it's like it's GT Online now, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, people play it for that.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
It's like what Red Dead wants to be.
God knows why.
Well, that's where we look at games like Cyberpunk, who are trying to break into that market and failing so horribly with this open world in a future or in a city concept, and trying to give the future element or the genre of Cyberpunk an attempt, and just falling on their face every time. So GTA or Rockstar are the only guys that can do it well, and no one else comes close to that formula. And when you're talking about GTA, you're talking about a city of just people taking advantage of other people. It's a bunch of criminals, essentially. So, of course, you're going to get some really bad dudes or bad people trying to kill each other and take advantage of each other. That's kind of expected. So whether you call them misogynist or this or that, is like, you do realize people are getting shot right now, and you're concerned about some guy, how he thinks about women. That's kind of retarded.
But the women smud.
Afghanistan?
In Afghanistan? Yes. Yeah, they are getting shot. That's true,
yeah. Iraq? Qatar?
Plenty.
China?
I don't know why you would use GTA to talk about gaming in general. It's like, the sexism is real strong right now.
Yeah.
Random non-Western country?
I don't know.
Detroit?
This guy's from the States, I assume. Peter Verhoeven. So, I don't know.
Verhoeven, that sounds like he's from the Netherlands. His family's from the Netherlands.
Whatever.
We don't think highly of them anyway, as low as they built their country.
Oh,
I regularly make jokes about just flooding it and be
love the
done with it.
Netherlands, and they're orange, and they're big fans that we don't have here in the UK.
Just flood the Netherlands.
Why? Just because you couldn't keep hold of them after you invaded them. That's all.
And we would never have had to deal with Guy Verhofstadt.
Just flood everything. Flood Poland. Flood Czechoslovakia. Just flood all those countries.
Hawk, what you don't get is that the Netherlands are below sea level at the coast.
Below sea level. Also, do you know that in the Netherlands,
below sea level at
Zealand?
the coast? It's very easy to flood the Netherlands.
Yeah, I know. Leaving your tap on for 20 minutes floods the Netherlands. Yeah, it's easy. I know. I understand that. But just because we can doesn't mean we should. You Germans, you're so preoccupied with whether you could do it.
If there is a red button, it needs to be pushed. Someone needs to push the red button.
No, it doesn't need to be pushed. No.
Why do you have a red button if you don't push it?
No, we're not flooding the Netherlands. End of conversation. We're not flooding the Netherlands. We're going to talk to a bearded bloke who doesn't know how suspenders work.
Yeah, and someone in the chat also mentioned it.
He's got suspenders and a belt.
First off, you never trust a man who doesn't trust his belt or his suspenders enough to work without the other.
Well, let's not.
What the fuck?
Let's not criticize his clothing or his facial hair or whatever.
We have to, because this is odd.
This guy had some.
I've never seen this before.
Oh my god!
This guy had some style counseling, and I've seen this for a couple of years. Men who go to style counseling always end up with suspenders for some reason.
I don't know. Is it worse than those guys who don't wear a belt or anything? They just leave it hanging.
It seems as if they can't work out and get an actual pair of pants to fit with a belt.
Yeah.
I don't know. This guy doesn't seem overweight. But
I would also go with
leg lengthened waist.
I would also go with.
You shouldn't worry about the crotch. There's nothing there to hold. So
prejudice to what I think he has a sock in it. I mean, he's carrying right side, so I would guess he's right wing.
Oh no,
he's a right winger.
Yeah, he's a crypto fascist. And the socialist red shirt is not gonna go past that, even though his whole getup is in the same color scheme as the hexagonal background. It's camouflage. It's all camouflage.
Sense. I guess,
Well, remember, guys, this is 2014, so this is the height of the hit.
Oh yeah, it's
I don't know if
it's the height of camouflage.
He appears to be a white guy too. I don't know if you saw that.
Gas.
Yeah, but
No.
it's the not well done beard. Well, I'd say it's mediocre. But you have the pleading, submissive male feminist face.
Yeah, it has a pussy ass fucking stance.
It's like please, pussy, please. I'm harmless. And then he rapes you.
it sort of reminded me of the design scheme for Deus Ex: Human Revolution, but it was black and gold there. This is black and red with the octagon or the hexagons in the background.
Oh, it's like the ink sock in V for Vendetta.
Oh, really? Huh.
Oh, that's no. It's not Ingsoc. It's was it Norse Fire or something? Isn't it?
Yeah, same difference.
Same difference. Okay, fine, whatever. I'm not going to start a debate on the names of the fascist dictatorships in dystopian stuff. Yeah.
Seriously,
Sure,
what's the fucking difference between all these horrible totalitarians?
The
one uses curry, the other uses kurkuma. Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
One has paprika, the other one just uses straight up chili. I don't know. I don't know. Something.
Anyway, let's get to the video. Here's 2 donations. Thank you. Mr. Ballsack. Hey, how's it going? This guy has probably sexually harassed women. I'm calling it now. Also, why is he dressed like a Yakuza character? Went homeless. I don't know.
There's many things in one.
I've never seen a guy with suspenders like that in a long time, so maybe, that was a thing back then.
Yeah, it was a thing back in 1873.
Oh.
Yeah, I doubt it was a thing in 2014.
I mean, it's a thing with
Yeah.
Super Mario, right?
Yeah, no, that's not. Has Mario got suspenders, or is it just his overall?
Well, they're overalls. So
I'd
they
love
have,
to see a
It's
Mario
overall.
mod where it just hangs below. That'd be great.
oh.
with the short sleeved burgund shirt, it looks like his upper body is too long.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you don't
Mario
actually
or the
use
guy?
the suspenders. So
Yeah.
you're supposed to keep your pants
guy.
up. Not,
Confused.
if you don't use them, they're useless.
Which white guy we're talking about?
Which one?
You're using the suspenders wrong.
Yeah, you're supposed to actually put them on
You
your
shouldn't
shoulders.
strap them to your boots.
Because if he starts running, will he like trip over his suspender? That's a
No.
health hazard.
I
You
mean,
think this
the hell
guy
has
runs?
Well, all he needed would be like a
I mean-
chain for his wallet or whatever. That'd be too much. So
Oh god, fuck me. Oh,
Yeah, he probably doesn't even tie his shoes. Yeah, that's a good point.
all these
Maybe the
dangling
suspenders
things
are
on his
tied
body.
up.
ties his. Oh,
Next, you're
I
gonna tell me he
swear
has a
to God,
scarf.
If he's not wearing socks, right? If it's his
He's wearing
skinny
socialist
jeans,
red
no
socks. They must match.
Oh,
He's wearing
No, they're gonna be
socialist red socks,
sandals with
mashing with his shirt.
He's probably wearing leggings. I don't know.
Fucking brown loafers.
And he's tied the suspenders to his
Three.
shoes because he ran out of shoelace.
Oh.
That's why his pants are down so far.
These two
Anyway,
I'm surprised he hasn't got those like beaded bracelets that people used to have when they used to go on holiday, like the wooden beaded bracelets, and
Oh,
they always
really?
have like 4 of them on their arm. They used to show off. And you're
when
like,
they go to Thailand or
you went
something.
you went to Cancun once. Wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. Good for you.
Yeah, the natives
That was a
gave it to
craze.
me. I was walking by and they just gave me beads. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, these natives gave me these. Also, I lost my wallet, but obviously it was just a gift.
Clearly.
Some guests have price. Who knows?
God, being a 20-year-old at this period of time, flipping with all the brats wandering. Oh, fashion died in these years.
Anyway, here's Mr. Tall Person. Thank you, sir. Hoy, all. I'm going to miss this one, but I look forward to watching this later. Have a good day, all. All right. That's it. Let's get started. This is a 16-minute video. It probably won't take that long unless we pause and don't shut up. So it's all your fault.
Hooray!
South Bank Women. Fun.
He's not a
My
woman.
talk is pretty self-explanatory, and it's called Sexism in Gaming, a talk by a bearded man way out of his depth.
Wow, so meta.
I should point out, parents.
I think we should have all these people run through the Cuphead tutorial as for gatekeeping purposes for quality.
Yeah.
The reaction you can
I would-
get is
I would
like,
argue-
lol XD and that's it.
Pick the first Super Mario level, the first 10 seconds to get over that big pipe. see if it's possible.
Mario's big
The
pipe,
ti-
yeah. Wink,
The
wink.
title's so fucking bland. The fucking intro title.
Okay.
Hypothetically, that it's very easy to be a man and criticize sexism on the internet. I know that. This is the year that gaming taught me just how much sexism pisses me off. I wasn't really aware of that until now, so thanks, gaming.
Well, that's two things. I mean, we both agree. We both agree that
Yeah.
sexism does piss us off as well. I mean, we hate hearing about it. We hate having people complain about it when there's nothing there. Or, you
We
know.
also hate women. So.
Well, yeah, that's a given. But, you know.
The thing is, we have
is
that's
this
natural.
video
we have
everyone
a
else can
different.
find quiet,
normal.
by the way?
The thing is, most people have a different threshold for sexism and are not. It's not that. It's not. I don't. The way I've seen the social justice warriors for a decade is, it's not that they're thin skinned. It's that they have no skin at all.
Yeah.
That is pretty terrifying when you see the people
Pretty
with no
fucking
And that's why
skin,
it's,
though, yeah.
transparent.
And that's why they're unable to take a joke about anything. And when you can't joke about something, how are you supposed to deal with it in any way?
Just in case you
By
guys,
crying wisp, obviously.
in case you guys don't remember, I can't see the dislike ratio. If you guys can tell me what it is, that'd be great.
Oh shit.
Let me
no.
see. Hold on.
Okay.
I
Go on,
would
Eric.
guess
You're
that TEDx is
Mexican now.
mostly just watched by people who watch TEDx at this point.
Oh yeah.
Well, I know there were some comments saying, "Lol," the comments have been disabled.
Well, the comments are awesome.
But then the
Got
comments came
4.7K
come again. And it's
likes.
like,
Oh no, it's got 4.7k likes and 8.6k dislikes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. Okay.
Look, balance
Just as a
is
verb.
always-
I think they're being generous. It should be more dislikes.
What are you talking about? Not balanced. Should-
It is
I'm not
balanced.
saying. No, it should be
No,
more
the
dislikes.
whole
Fuck
thing
this.
should-
No,
fucking
no,
thing.
it should not. It should
No,
not
it
be
should-
balanced.
It should not be fucking
I
liked
just-
at all.
I just want to
I
make this.
just
known.
mean I would expect a positive ratio for these videos because people with brain cells don't watch TEDx anymore.
Well, just to remind
True.
everyone, this channel has 33 million subs, and this only has 270,000 views from 8 years ago, or 7 years ago, rather. So that is
I
my.
mean, isn't it more
really
fun
early.
to watch the water deserves human rights or something?
Well, yeah,
Isn't that more fun?
maybe I don't know, but that's not a good ratio for video. If you have 33 million,
Yeah, it's a pretty shit video.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Is it me or does this guy's head seem a little too small? I don't know.
Small?
Something's off. Yeah, I don't know.
Small.
There's something off about his head.
He's just hunching all the time. Which
Yeah, it's
may-
because he's very tall and he's hunching.
well, I would go with
It's like,
the
it
fact
looks
that
awkward.
his pants they look like they're lower than they should be, and I don't know if that's because of the suspenders or the shirt just looks really big. So I don't know.
You should go with horizontal stripes.
Or makes him look thin.
To make him look smaller. If he thinks he looks too tall or is too tall.
Maybe it's
that
wearing
happens
high
to
heels.
that,
I don't know.
that happens to sometimes that happens to tall people. Well, that's usually a woman thing. That they want to
makes
get
sense for
smaller
them.
because they don't because they can't cope with the attention.
Why would you want to act smaller? I love being taller than everybody. I love
I
looking
know,
down on
I
them.
know.
I
That's
know,
a weird
it's
thing
pretty
when
fucking
men.
awesome.
That's a weird thing when men do it. And
Yeah.
the thing with a lot of the
Well, I don't.
social justice types is that you have the hyper-dominant ones, the obnoxious narcissists, and then you have the subversive, sneaky, passive-aggressive ones, the covert ones, and they usually have very low self-esteem. And
Alright.
when you see someone with very low self-esteem stand on a stage, it looks weird. But this is the type who, from my experience, also in real life, this is the type who tries to sneak his way through pity into a relationship with a woman, not through strength, not by being someone to rely on, by being the guardian type. This is the guy who winds himself into a relationship.
Yeah, that's the victimhood guy.
Yeah, and it's and so we get the white knighting towards phantom enemies. That's what it can do, because phantom enemies, they don't fight back because they're not real. But a concrete, we would say in German, a direct physical individual person that's a threat, he would tuck his tail between his legs and leave the woman alone. That's the vibe I'm getting.
All right, here is
Might not be doing that, but it's the vibe I'm getting.
here's donation
The
from
women know it too.
Here is a donation from Mrs. Balsack. It took this guy this long to get pissed off by sexism. Damn, he's going to lose his shit when he finds out about racism. Hey, how soon do you think he's going to bring up Gamergate and Anita? Well, 2014 was around Anita was declining in value. I can't recall exactly when. It was around that time.
No, that hadn't really started
wasn't
yet.
it strong?
Was it strong?
There was-
Okay.
That was
was
just
it?
starting. 2014 was the year it was just starting.
With Kickstarter and all that shit. Yeah.
When was Neil Druckmann started something for? Was that around the same time, wasn't it?
I don't want to remember.
No, it's just 2014 was the year I moved into this dumpster fire of an apartment, and that's why I remember watching the stuff about this crap unfolding back then.
All right. 33 seconds in.
All right.
When you picture a gamer, you're probably inevitably picturing what game development companies picture. You're picturing one of the following groups. Now, these guys are wearing shoes that have clearly never seen dirt. I mean, this family doesn't exist. Their haircuts are immaculate. They probably sleep in IKEA every night.
Yeah, it's called stock footage.
But this is how Nintendo chooses to...
So the big difference between the gamer or demographic of Rockstar and the demographic of Nintendo. So...
Not even sure whether Nintendo made that thing, because
kids.
they're holding the controllers in a way that you can see them as the viewer, but not how you hold them to play games usually.
Yeah, I doubt this
isn't
is-
there Nintendo like America, right?
Well,
Like there's two different companies, right?
You have the original Nintendo of Japan. Then you have for localization purposes, you have Nintendo of America, which is quite censorious, and you have Nintendo of Europe for the European market.
And then you also have Nintendo for North Korea, which is a completely different thing. They just shoot you. That's the difference. Anyway.
Headed towards gaming. When they picture a gamer, this is who they picture, this weird nuclear family. Now, the gamer you're probably
No, they
picturing
don't.
realistically is
No.
this one.
No.
And okay. And to
Lol
the guy in
XD.
chat, to the guy in chat who was downvoting, who's probably not watching anymore. Who's the opinionated one here? Honestly.
What?
yeah,
There was someone in
Wait, what?
chat who was just pissing because we were making jokes about his looks, and this is because we already know this is the kind of person that makes these kinds of jokes and thinks gamers look like this. So what the fuck does he have to talk about gaming?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, he just goes and completely insults gamers, and yeah. Oh no, but I'm really sorry that whoever was upset in the chat.
Yeah.
That
The
was
majority
insulting
of gaming.
Allow me to continue because your tears give me sustenance and I enjoy it.
Somebody's
The
crying in
majority
chat,
of
really.
gamers are completely
Yes, we
normal
have.
people. And then you have people who you have gamers who are well into completionism
Right,
and others and getting the really high difficulty settings, going through that for personal achievement, not even to brag to anyone, but just for personal achievement. And then you have and those are still fine and normal people. Like, look at the fighting scene; it's mostly black people. And they're really hard at it. They love that shit and they have fun and fun to be around. And people like this that's depicted here, those are addicts, and there are addicts in every hobby that you can imagine, every substance you can imagine. Like if this person didn't have video games, it might be alcohol. It might be weed. It might be anything else. There are addicts for sports. They usually look
crystal
better.
meth, crack cocaine,
but
heroin.
Yeah. And there are also people can be addicted not just to substances but also to behaviors,
Opium,
like eating,
cocaine pills,
simply eating,
diabetes pills.
Sex.
But then you have addictions that are not that
Sex.
obvious. Yep, that is one too. But that's why I brought up sports. There are people who can be addicted. Who can be addicted to it. That's why we call it runner's high. People just run all day so that they are literally figuratively, running away from their problems, but through sports and through the adrenaline rush they get from that, and the endorphins they get from that. That is also not healthy.
Yeah, but Wisp, it might also be due to the vast amounts of heroin they've taken beforehand. I'm glad Tadros' fan liked that joke. I'm really pleased.
Yeah.
Oh, you still hear the fan?
Yeah. Oh, binge watching is also an addictive form of behavior.
Does train spotting count as an addictive form of behavior?
I don't know, maybe 4chaning.
4chan.
Yeah. I mean, technically can be addict of anything. So
Yeah.
who knows?
You can be addicted to anything. Like I'm addicted to, apart from
Family.
the vast quantity of drugs and alcohol, watching terrible things with a Canadian.
Yeah.
I can't stop. It's too good. Oh, okay.
I just can't stop. I just have a lot more cringe.
Yeah. Well.
Also, it's a nice situation where South Park is funny for the left when it suits their purposes.
Well, I'm like waiting for how it ties back into sexism and gaming. It's just
Well, let's get started because he hasn't really started his argument yet. He's just trying to make a few jokes. Anyway, here's Alex Haler. Thank you, Alex. A Nintendo JP at least told the don't censor third party. They do have a standard, though, for all of their products if they were going first party, but they were very strict in the 80s and 90s, and they're not as strict, but they're still pretty focused on the family-oriented products. So that's why.
Yeah, but that's all the in-house stuff.
Well, yeah, but even when
the joke is that the explicit content stuff, the ecchi and hentai stuff that you can also get for the Switch nowadays, is less censored on the Switch than it is on the PlayStation.
Yes.
And that is insane because the PlayStation started marketing itself as the grown-ups console.
It's still Nintendo. It's still Japan selling their product to Japanese. And they realize, we're losing out to all these other large consoles in the PC market. We got to start doing different things now that we actually have the capability of porting stuff over to the Switch, because the Switch is pretty powerful, at least for products 10 years ago. And people still want to play those games and go mobile and go to their brothers or go to their family members and play there with them. So that's
what you have parental controls for, and Nintendo, at least, despite all the other business mistakes, at least stays with we have parental controls, it's up to you to use them. And thus they don't need to censor other content on their platform. Unlike where we have problems with Steam in Germany, where we, for example, can't buy Subverse and other similar games because the German government says it can't do that. Can't buy it.
I can't imagine that.
Okay.
Yeah, the pages don't even come up in German. It's just it doesn't show up in the search list.
All right. Here's one more donation from Gingaman. I don't know, Gingaman. I thought you were supposed to be on here, but he's giving me a $5 donation. Okay. Thank you, Gingaman. So apparently you can't portray a family being clean in their own home. He clearly lives in a different reality. He is trying to make a joke about the way that game developers in the West see their demographic. And for the people in the audience who probably aren't gamers, who probably don't know any better, they think, oh, it's funny, haha. But that's a particular advertisement for, was it the Wii? What was it? The Wii?
Yes, that was the Wii. And that was basically what the Wii's customer base looked like. It's pretty accurate to the Wii.
Right. When he is going to jump into a discussion that is unrelated to Nintendo. So. Yeah,
and I remember one Christmas I wanted to have a game for that the family could play, or that we could play all together. And it was Mario Party, as misdesigned as that was. And so we were at my grandma's during Christmas and played Mario Party, the family. And that wasn't. It didn't look like this caricature's place. It looked closer to the other one, just that we aren't blonde. So, fuck you, asshole.
All
What
right.
he doesn't. What he
Fuck
doesn't
you,
get.
asshole.
So he's just trying to make a joke. He's obviously framing the narrative very differently just by using different advertising.
He's all right insulting people and making fun about the looks of people, the potential looks of the people he's ranting about. But we are not allowed to have any opinions and possible prejudices about him.
No. Legally, as your lawyer, no, we're not. No, we can't say anything bad. Everyone must be good. We must be good.
Anyway.
I mean, sarcastic.
women.
Pull the shit out of the defenders were an idiot.
Anyway.
It's all right when he does it. I understand.
Let's get to the video. Let's hear.
Doesn't mean the joke is any kind of good.
Oh, Gigaman.
Oh, Gigaman.
Hello.
I don't care. Let's get on with the video. And I, for one, agree with our Canadian overlords, and we should continue.
Realizing that not knowing, I started thinking I was going to join later, but it's like, no, wait, I can join now. It's like, fuck.
All right, let's go.
Never get tired of that face. When you deal with sexism on the internet and it's coming in a gaming context, it's usually coming from this guy. Not always, but it's usually coming from this guy. But thankfully, a high rate of scurvy and bed sores ensure they die quite quickly. Now, this guy.
Oh.
I hate the Big Bang Theory. It's an insult to everything I hold dear, and frankly, see, everyone's looking at his eyes now. The eyes, they're like the dark eyes of a shark, so I'm just going to solve... It's going to be hard to talk without doing this, so... Alright.
Okay.
Really?
Okay,
so you don't like
at this?
Are
these supposed to be jokes?
Big Bang? I never watched it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
why are his suspenders not on his shoulders?
We talked about that for 15 minutes.
we just discussed.
Yeah, it's like, what's the point?
Yeah. And Tadros, can you do something about your mic?
It's not the mic. There's a trash compactor. Whatever the fuck. Nothing I can do.
What, for once
And
it's
do
actual
something-
things and not the mic?
Do something about the trash.
Can you kill the trash truck driver, please? Just...
I have to say, Paul Verhoeven looks pretty good for being in his mid-80s.
Not the director,
Like,
yes.
my mic is a legit thing. It's the neighbor's dog sometimes, but...
I don't know why
Anyway.
a film director's talking about gaming, but yeah.
Yeah, but on that, as flawed as the Big Bang Theory is, the actor for Sheldon does pull off the basic autistic stare pretty well. And so when this guy here complains about that, he's complaining or making jokes about a disability. Oh, the compassionate left, isn't it?
Well, we don't know.
So to be consistent, he would now need to have to make jokes about people with trisomy 21. What was that? Down syndrome, you call it. Be consistent. Make jokes about Down syndrome now, asshole.
Make jokes about everybody, yeah.
Ironically, Jim Parsons would probably agree with most of this video.
Oh, right.
I actually have no idea. I just assume from what I know of Jim Parsons.
Oh, well.
Oh, well, he's...
I don't care what Jim Parsons thinks.
Anyway.
Oh, actually, technically, Jim Parsons does suck, actually, yeah.
If I ever knew who that was, then I have forgotten.
That was Sheldon.
That's Sheldon's actor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. He's not very. I think I saw one or two interviews with him.
When someone said he was sucking, that was a penis joke. I made a gay. It doesn't matter. With carry on.
Wait, he's gay?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, very
he's gay.
What?
I don't know how very gay he is. I couldn't tell you.
Wait, Jim Parsons?
How are you very gay versus very little gay?
Yeah.
Wait.
I didn't know there was levels.
It's obviously
to gay.
different in Germany. It's okay. It's fine.
No, wait, you mean like Jim Parsons or this guy?
Jim Parsons.
Jim Parsons is gay.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
This guy just has bad style choices.
And he's letting some of that persona into how he plays Sheldon, which is not, which is still okay. It's not on an unbearable level.
Fine, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the character was gay. I didn't think the actor was gay.
No, it's the other way around.
Definitely.
What?
Oh, okay.
It's spilling over.
Eric.
Why are we still
People
talking
say
about...
there's a bunch of nonsense on the internet. I can't follow it all. Okay.
There's a
Why are
bunch
we
of
talking
nonsense.
about Jim
There's a
Parsons?
bunch of nonsense on the internet, and Eric's like, I don't know, people are gay. I don't know, probably something's happening. Hey, suspenders, what's happening here?
So the story of Sheldon Cooper, he gets married to a female. So anyway,
Amy Fowler. Is that her name?
her name is
Amy
Amy.
Schumer?
Isn't it Kaylee?
Yeah. Shut up, Eric. No, I'm not going through the whole Big Bang fucking law just because you're confused by whether Jim Parsons is a giver or a receiver. Just
I mean, you can be both, right?
No, wait, him making these jokes tells me he has no principles.
Well,
But either you want a white knight and everyone be a paragon.
well, the fact he's
no
even
fucking points to begin with.
there's really no reason to bring up this show and why he dislikes it. It has nothing to do with the topic. He already went over the joke with the demographic, and now he just brought up Sheldon Cooper for some. It's like, yeah, we get it.
I really should.
Have they actually gone into GTA 5?
You know something? You know what I can't say about
No,
these
he
things
hasn't gone to GTA 5 yet. He's still doing his unfunny stand-up routine.
Okay,
Yeah,
because if this is the video I remember, then there's one bit that I'm gonna have something to say about for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It probably is, because this is
TED
like a
Talks usually like
7-year-old video.
This is TEDx. This is
Why
the
don't you
little
do a
retarded Down
comedy
syndrome
club?
brother of cousin or inbred cousin of Ted.
The TEDx talks are dumb in
Yeah,
general.
They have no threshold for quality.
Yeah, TEDx is like any idiot with a microphone can
I
start
mean,
talking.
if the last time the Smudcast covered a TED Talks is anything to go by, or do you remember that one, Smud?
Which, the TEDx talks we did last?
The TED Talks, the general TED Talks, the guy that's too good for his life, which was actually, I think, my first Smudcast.
Oh, there was.
So that.
Or my
So
second
that's
one, I don't know.
They go
Oh my
downhill.
God.
Oh, right.
Doesn't
okay.
remember Gingaman's first Smudcast.
There are so
It's either my
Sad
first or
noises.
second one.
There were so many
I
first.
remember my first Smud video.
I don't remember the video, but I remember what I ranted about.
I remember mine.
Let me guess. What did Wish rant about for the first time? Could it be communism? Or is it, something along...
Is it A, communism, B, socialism,
Socialism.
communist-socialism?
Or C, both of the
Super
above.
wrath.
You're all wrong. It was trans shit.
Of course.
No,
Oh,
no.
That's the obvious other one. So.
That just leads into communism.
No, I don't believe you. No, I don't believe you. I don't believe you at all. I believe that communism came up first.
Wait.
No, I believe you spoke of trans stuff, but you also involved communism with it.
Yeah, because that's
There you
what
go.
they abuse it for.
Intertwined.
The socialists abuse the trans shit to justify their stupid ideology, their stupid theory that was debunked 200 years ago.
Wisp.
So you were right.
What's your favorite game again, Wisp?
No!
My one
No,
favorite?
Zip was right.
Oh,
And no hobos.
All right,
On to
we are
Sexism
not
and
talking
Banter.
about what Wisp likes to rant about for the next 5 minutes, okay? We're going to get 20 minutes of him ranting about anything anyway, so...
The guy didn't even bring up games yet, for fuck's sake.
It's just like, God, you know something? Let's start whispering one of her, 6-hour rants. No, let's not. Let's just try and keep them short and concise.
Let's talk about suspenders.
No, please stop.
By that you mean let's continue with the video, then sure.
Look, this is the great thing about all these socialists. almost every topic they talk shit about. They talk shit about is something that in some way is personally affecting me.
Think about it. You can use the suspenders when you're a hobo.
Eric, what? Silence. Wisp into the corner for 5 minutes. Eric, just shut up. Play the video. TEDx.
We are not talking about hobos. Please stop.
No hobos, no nothing. Smud.
It wasn't me.
No, Wisp.
Okay, here we go.
Moving on.
Problematically, the game developing communities tends to have basically they see these as the atypical gamers, so they cater almost exclusively towards these archetypal things.
That would be seeing them as the typical gamer, not the atypical gamer. Learn what words mean before you say them.
The way
literally means the opposite of what you were trying to say.
Yeah. It's a bit like, you know, the transgender communist hobos with their suspenders. That was so many.
Okay, I think that joke is not.
Is it me or is he fat?
No. What? No.
He is a fat twig.
He looks a little bit wide. I'm just saying.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, but those are two different things.
But as Axel said, he's not getting the words right with stuff.
These morons never do.
Yeah, but what he's described, he's getting them all mixed up.
Yeah,
so,
the entire joke of fucking the typical gamers or whatever the fuck doesn't even make sense on its own.
But it's like all companies try to make their customer base are squeaky clean.
Yeah, well, what he's saying is he's saying that these companies see, you know, your fat, sweaty white dude as their typical customer, or their atypical customer, I guess.
No, that's clearly the joke.
They cater to the fat, sweaty white dudes instead of catering to. He's probably going to bring up that utterly ridiculous study that said that, you know, 35-year-old women are the primary purchasers of game consoles. Which is a study that. It's a study that somehow used. Yeah, well, it's a study that somehow used to justify saying, "Oh, look, actually, it's 35-year-old women who are the people who play video games the most." When it's like,
but
no,
I have to ask if they're mothers.
Yeah, these 35-year-old women are primarily buying consoles. It does not say that they are primarily
but it's also like
buying for personal use.
Yeah, it's
like if a 15, 16-year-old boy wants to play video games, you think he's the one going out and buying the $300 console?
No.
Or do you think his mom in her mid-30s is the one going out to buy the $300 console?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But it's also like the studies that say that like more women play video games, and then they bring up like Candy Crush or
it's almost entirely like mobile games.
And you're like, yeah, mobile games. You're like,
yeah, bullshit.
It's like supposedly my mum is now a hardcore gamer because she plays like Candy Crush constantly, and Mum's like, no.
Like, and even if you want to argue that you're just as valid of a gamer for playing mobile games as you are for playing console games,
when you're
AAA console game developers are not developing for mobile game players. Because mobile game players are not buying those games.
Yeah,
so why would you cater to them?
You can't say that. My mum thought Sonic was an Italian plumber for 30 years. No, there's no way that she's valid as a gamer.
What?
So... And also, she didn't call him Sonic, she called him Snonic, because she thought there was another N in there somewhere. So no, she's not valid as a gamer.
Nice.
It's not Sonic.
That's Nonic.
I love my mum, but yeah, no, she's not. She's video games.
Mario.
You fucking lost me with that. What? Sonic.
His mother's a hardcore.
Are you sure you're not projecting?
All right. Anyway.
I project.
Here is Tyler Preston for the donation. Okay, so Jonathan McIntosh also brings up the Big Bang Theory in his adorkable misogynist video regarding how the nerdy male characters in media like Revenge of the Nerds harms women in the real world. Even brings up James Damore in the video.
Okay.
Well, Jonathan McIntosh is a curious sort. And he's been getting popular, amazingly.
To be honest with you, it's like the Big Bang Theory is crap. It's not very funny,
Especially now.
but it's one of those things where it gave a very weird view of geek culture that doesn't really exist. To be honest,
Most things do that.
I preferred the idea of physics geeks or science geeks better than geek culture, just because I have friends like that, and they got off on it because some will hear conversations like in the second season they had this science consultant, an actual PhD in particle physics that knew what the hell he was doing, and some of the jokes were really good. Even some of the astrophysics jokes were pretty cool. But after that, it just devolved into whatever stuff about computers and video games and comic books, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, but hence why I said that's when the vast majority of seasons are just culture.
The show ran out of nerd jokes in the second season.
Yeah. So I just find it really weird if anyone tries to bring that up to like describe nerds or geeks. It's a bit like it's a comedy series by Chuck Lorre. It's
a satire. It's exaggerated.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the problem with these people. They seem to be unable to distinguish between fiction and reality.
The only thing that Chuck Lorre's made that's anything like reality is 2.5 Men, because Charlie Sheen was just Charlie Sheen on the show, and that was about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you say, when you can't distinguish, they can't distinguish. It's like, yeah, it's just the characters aren't the same as what actually happens in. I'm using quotation marks. Geek culture. It's not. No geek goes out with a girl like fucking Kaylee. What's her surname? What's the name who plays Penny?
Cuoco.
Yeah. No one's getting her. Lennon is not getting that.
No,
unless he's got a 12-foot long knob. There's no fucking chance he's getting that.
And I mean, nerds don't look like those guys anyway, so.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Very, very rarely,
show,
and not that
the thing
extreme.
with that show is that, like, the jokes feel like they were written by, like, an algorithm almost. Like, there's no reason that show had to be about geek culture. It could have been about just about anything. And it would have been exactly the same effect.
Yeah.
The scary thing is, my hackerspace did have a couple of people who were very close to looking like the people in Big Bang Theory. Like as if they got inspired by it because they were lacking so much in personality. But those people could have gone into any other subculture, I suppose. And then copied whatever they saw there. And this is the thing that I mean with that also had the time where the emo subculture was so big. They copied something that they thought was popular, and in that copying made their own thing out of it without knowing that they are not the actual thing, but a caricaturesque copy of the thing.
Anyway, let's try and get back to the video. I'm sure he's not going to bring this up ever again.
Right.
Hopefully.
You see, the game development community has drifted towards that dangerous notion that maleness is the norm. And I would like now to kick that notion.
What does he mean by that?
If you would permit me.
I'll see.
What's dangerous about thinking that maleness is
because
a norm?
if you think that maleness is the norm when you're developing video games, you might not cater everything towards women, and that would be bad.
You cater to who buys the game.
So what's dangerous? Who's in danger?
Women, because if
Also,
men
how?
are treated as the default, then that's bad. So I don't know. I'm not a brain poisoned feminist, so I really don't know.
Could you be one so I could yell at you?
Listen, he will only be happy.
The word's dangerous. You've got to explain why it's dangerous. You don't say, "Oh, that line's dangerous because he gets grumpy on a Tuesday." No, he's dangerous because he's going to maul your fucking face off if you go near him. So
I think these are panic words. I think that they only exist to make you side with him out of fear.
Yeah. Oh no!
Never and since this video is from 2014, this shows that they've done this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They just create. They just appeal to your feelings. It always appeals to emotion. That's why we try to criticize these things in a logical and a rational manner. And it's so easy because there is no rationale. There is no logic here. It's only appeals to emotion, and this is how the trick is done. In regards to video games in the West, most like comics, most are written for a male audience. Still, girls do enjoy them. There are girls who are big into video games. Look at the damn VTubers. They're scary good at some of the games. And then we look at the Asian market. We look at Japan, what Japan puts out. I don't know the numbers, but let's assume that we get maybe 20%, and that is a very high estimate. 20% of the games that are made in Japan come over to the West, get localized. The other 80% is not just quite trashy, but there's also a lot of games for absolutely everybody, including games that you would only play if you love having seizures, that have aesthetics that you must be gay to be able to enjoy and not vomit, and games that can only be for girls. There's a Sailor Moon beat 'em up, for fuck's sake. Very old one, very crude game.
Are you trying to say that Sailor Moon beat 'em up was for women?
Literally, the whole point of Pac-Man was to market.
I played that. Women. You can't. It's unbearable. It's absolutely unbearable.
Pac-Man?
No, the Sailor Moon beat 'em up.
Oh, that. But no, it's like as far back as 1980. Pac-Man was made to be. It was basically a game for girls. That was the intention from day one.
The thing is,
I don't know about intention, but the main demographic of Pac-Man players in the arcade were girls.
From the mouth of Toru Iwatani himself, he did try. The game was made to market towards women.
Oh, really?
Well, that's the thing about early video games is when the market was new, they didn't market towards men. They just marketed games. And
right.
They found through years and years of market research that it was boys that were gravitating towards games. And so eventually the advertising shifted because they found that their core demographic was young boys.
They can make more money when they focus on that.
Yeah, they found that it was boys who were the ones going for video games. So they said, okay, we're going to focus our marketing towards boys because they're the ones buying the product.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Iwatani, with the intention he had, wasn't because games were being marketed towards males, because back then they weren't, like you said.
Yeah.
It's because of the realization that men was becoming the dominant demographic that he decided to do that.
I could make a very crude hypothesis that the games we see that primarily women drift to, like Pac-Man, is a gathering game, and
maybe
the what is it? Match-3 games. It's a puzzle type game. So you would associate puzzles mainly with a male audience, but match-3 games are you could also say is a gathering thing where you go for patterns, you look for patterns and then sort stuff. That's also something in in ancient societies, that was done by the women. They looked through the stuff that was gathered and sought out the bad shit. While Pokemon is gathering and hunting. It appeals to both sexes.
Pokemon definitely appeals to everyone, literally everyone.
Yeah, because it does both.
Is that why women also go really hard for those hidden object games?
You're talking about the casual.
That's a good idea.
The casual genre of things you do on your break as a secretary, not really focused on too much else, so you can kill time and wait for something else to happen. So casual titles like Hidden Objects, where there's a time delay, like you have like 30 seconds to find all the hidden objects or whatever it is, like that is designed for their lifestyle. So it's not specific to the style of game, meaning time-based or objects, or using, because men are very highly advanced for using visual acuity. It's more or less to do with the fact that it's not a big deal, doesn't take up too much time, isn't too labor intensive, and you could drop it and pick it up at any time.
Yeah, but you can make the evolutionary biological argument, because the visual acuity of women is has how do you say that, evolutionized. Evolved. Thank you. Has evolved for different purposes than the male one.
Yes.
The males were the hunters, the women were the gatherers or foragers. Hidden objects is foraging. Find all the stuff that is good, that you need, so that you have food at home. It was all about food. All our stuff has evolved so that we have enough food that we can sustain ourselves. And I'd say that's the main difference here.
It also
why we have a drift between the sexes for who goes for what gameplay.
It also works very similarly to the murder mystery genre, because a lot of these hidden objects, they're tied into a story that involves some detective finding stuff, and he has to seek certain objects in a crime scene. Women love reading murder mysteries, whether it's old classics or even the new ones from Great Britain. Although the huge battery of authors from Great Britain, just all kinds of murder mysteries. So that usually gets connected with these style of games. Same with adventure games from Sierra. A lot of girls played Sierra games back in the 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes.
That style of exploration and taking things slow and figuring stuff out. So yeah, but guys also like that too. It's kind of hard to find the demographic specifically from.
Yeah, that's because the Sierra and the LucasArts games, the adventures,
right.
They have the hidden object element in them. That's part of the puzzles. Oftentimes.
Yeah, it's a logical puzzle. It's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what all.
You have a story.
You have
a story, and you have a logical puzzle with hidden items.
The problem is a lot of those. That's why the adventure genre died, at least in the 90s, was because the logic was so bad that no one could figure out what the frickin' hell is going on. Even with
that depends on the game.
And after that adventure was more affiliated in combination with action.
That's when these games went into the direction of Sam & Max and Simon the Sorcerer. You had obscure, what is it? The other word I'm looking for. Just things that only work as jokes or are just completely. Why would this work? Why is this? Why do I have to put these two things together? It makes no sense.
Right.
They had that already.
So you needed
the indie games didn't have that.
Like Grim Fandango and Quest for Glory series, which is a combination of adventure and
that
RPG.
was amazing.
So there was sort of this sub-genres combination to see what they can do with those games in the middle to the late 90s. And eventually it just did not sell, because that's when 3D started getting better and faster. The 3D cards came out.
Yeah, and they try to translate the old 2D adventure sprite pixel adventure style games onto 3D, and that completely failed.
Well,
and I believe that is part of what killed the genre.
It was the fidelity to quality was not there, so you had pixelation and all kinds of anti-aliasing.
Controls were just horrible.
Right.
It went to shit.
All right. Anyway, let's get back to the video. Here's Clitty Eastwood. These people got their ideas about gamers from movies and TV. Women do play video games. They're not the majority, but they play them. And a few dickheads on online play don't stop them. They don't. If they're good, they learn to shit talk back.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
All I see from these people, and this is 2014, and it was before that as well, is they are opinionated, they're prejudiced, they're only after propaganda, and they do not care about reality checks. These people's opinion has never changed. For in a decade, it has never changed.
Will.
They took up this position because it suits their narrative to push their politics and nothing else. They do not care what reality really is. Because they're still having the same talking points. It doesn't matter what we bring up to them. These people are like creationists. They do not give a shit what reality is. They're like flat earthers.
All right.
It's all the same shit. Just last thing. If you like old games, get the Quest for Glory games from Sierra. Make them work somehow. Maybe there's something on good old games. I had Quest for Glory 3 when I was a kid. These games are magical. Really, take your time with them. They're really worth it. These are hidden gems of the past.
But they're also old as shit.
Yeah, they're old as shit, but they're gems.
All right.
All right. Let's go.
You can kill yourself by getting high on drugs. That's great.
Hang on.
Hippie death.
Yeah, dicks. All right. So here we are. Part 2. How many gamers are women? Now, it's all well and good to say.
Oh, fucking lot.
And they are, but I
don't give a shit.
Statistics. There was a big survey
Who cares?
by ESA last year, and as of last year, 47% of gamers are women.
Okay.
Nice.
No, they're not.
We did it, guys.
Probably.
We beat sexism. We did it, guys.
Right, so what's the problem then?
Yeah. What's the problem?
Yeah, and if so, yeah, this is the point. If you say half of gamers are women, are female, maybe even regardless of age, if that is the case, why do we need parity? Because apparently the girls are enjoying the games as much as the boys.
Hold on.
Whether or not this is bogus, it destroys his argument either way.
Yeah, I guess
ask a
because we need
question?
100% of women, not
Can I just ask
50.
a question?
That seems to be the goal all the
You know
time.
that
And then it says, why should we cater to the men because they're a minority? Because they don't
Right,
actually
yeah.
care about minorities.
Yeah,
They do not care about
but
minorities.
here's the thing. But Wisp, hold on. Just read that sentence at the bottom. Women 18 or older represent a significantly greater portion of the game-playing population than boys aged 17 or younger. But
No.
that's probably because the women who are 18 or older can buy their own stuff, while the
It's
boys
also-
aged
this is-
17 or younger.
This is already
Why?
a statistic. This simplest statistical lie. So, how many do you think there are more or less people 18 and younger, or 19 and older on the planet? Just in general on the planet.
False. Pass.
This shit is too vague anyway.
I'm just wondering where
I
he's
believe
getting
there are
all
more
these
people
statistics.
older than 18 on the planet than there are under 18 on the planet at any given time.
I know.
More.
Who's coming up with these statistics? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, when you do a survey, how many under 17-year-olds are you going to be able to ask?
I always wonder where they get this.
You know,
Also, next thing, you usually make the cut. You include the 18-year-olds. You don't exclude them. You include the 18-year-olds in the young bracket, and over 18 is your adult bracket. This is already weird. Why are you? shifting this 1 year up to the in favor for the women bullshit, or what is going on here?
It's based on a false.
So you fuck with statistics.
Well, the problem is this is a very generalized statement to make about gender, not genre, not who buys the games, how they're played, are they multiple?
Probably give us the genres later. But the thing is just, number one, the statistic is bullshit. Secondly, if the statistic would be correct, there would be no problem, and he can go home.
Either way, it's still.
Either way, he loses.
Either way, he loses. Yeah. Whether it being false or it being like actual gamers being part of the graph, he loses.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here is JS. Thanks, JS, for the donation. The data is meaningless unless we stratify it by number of hours per week each gender plays. Okay, that's a good point. A girl I know plays a few hours of Zelda a week, so she's technically a gamer, but I know guys who can play for 24 hours straight. This is like, I have a hobby riding bike, but I don't riding my bike every day. I'll ride it maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 months, sometimes to pick stuff up, sometimes just for fun. But it's not...
I go to the gym once a week.
Yeah.
My friend goes to the gym every day.
Yeah.
We both go to the gym.
Equal, according to this guy.
Totally the same. Oh, you're a strong man from Iceland. Yeah, I also go to the gym once a week. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I went to the gym.
I run around the park once a week.
I too am a gym bro.
I do lift as well. Yes, here's lifting my towel.
I'm a gymnast myself.
Yeah. And who do you think spends more?
Do you lift? I lift as well.
Lift as well.
But did you die though?
But did you die though? Nearly, actually, my one time at the gym.
I took an arrow to the knee.
Oh no.
Yeah, I took an arrow to the knee. That means I'm an adventurer now. Turns out that knee injuries are 9% of all
I have an arrow to the knee, therefore I am immortal. Alright, moving on.
But that point about game time is very it is very important, because you could literally play an hour of Call of Duty a week and then be called a gamer.
Well, wow.
Yes, of course.
Maybe you just watch games and you somehow are a gamer.
Well, you know what? I had a friend who said, "Yeah, I'm a gamer. I watch Let's Plays," and I was like,
That's where we get to now.
I was like,
that's how low we got.
Then?
We already got super easy mode for game journalists. Now we got Let's Play, and that counts as what? Oh, go home, for fuck's sake!
I just.
Let's Plays are nothing more than free advertisement.
You could say so, yeah.
In a way they are.
Unless it's a story-based game.
Like, if the Let's Play inspires you to go out and play the actual game, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just watching doesn't make you a fucking gamer.
And back in the day, when the AMV scene was really big, some anime music videos did introduce me to new music that I didn't know, and artists I didn't know, because they never ran here on radio or television or anywhere, so I couldn't know them. That's the biggest example would be in Germany in the 90s. If you had your youth in the 90s, you would have no fucking clue who Peter Gabriel is.
Pretty much.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Wow, Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, I still fucking don't.
Giga Man, how dare you?
Hold on.
You're not missing out on much, to be honest. Yeah, just gonna say.
There's a few good tracks.
Ooh, it's a bold claim.
Moving on.
No, it's a bold claim, not a bold claim. That would mean I've got no hair making the claim.
Wait, what? Balls?
Mega Man is balls.
Oh yeah, man. Stephen the Clanker has it all figured out. He says, I'm totally a gamer. I watch the girls at HoloLive play Minecraft.
Ah.
How am I bald? Look at my mane.
My luscious mane of hair. No, I when people go like, "Oh, it's a bald claim," it's like, no, it's bold, not bald.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, Smud's the bald one here.
What?
Wait, Smud's bald?
Wait, that's news.
All right, moving on. Okay, moving on.
As Smud runs his hands through his luscious Canadian locks, he's like, "I see no baldness here."
Okay.
Anyway, let's continue.
Yes.
It's nice, isn't it? It is. It's nice because what happens now is you start to put this anger in context. When male gamers rail against female gamers,
They don't.
They're not a minority anymore.
don't.
Who does,
They
though?
start throwing around terms like girl.
Wait, who
No
doesn't?
one.
No, seriously, guys were into girls that could game. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah. When you meet a girl, as you're into video games, you meet a girl who's into video games, you suddenly have a second player. That's amazing.
Exactly.
And you can have maybe even you can have a relationship with someone who shares your hobby.
Yeah.
That
you
means
like
you
video
can
games too? Wanna fuck?
Yeah, you can have sex and video games with the same
Eric, what did you
person.
say?
Okay.
Years later,
Dude.
and then years later, you make player 3.
Yeah. Eric,
Yeah,
what did you just
totally.
say, by the
It's a
way?
beautiful story too.
Yeah, it's a beautiful analogy, yeah.
Yeah.
Eric, did you just say do you like Red Dead 2? Let's fuck.
Yes.
Because
It's pointing towards you,
surprisingly,
I
surprisingly,
don't care, I'll do
my girlfriend actually really likes Red Dead 2.
Well, then,
Ah, look at that.
then.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful story.
she's not allowed to play it though, because I'm still playing it. So
Oh, clearly, yeah.
unfortunately,
You have the respect to take
Get your
turns.
own console.
get your own game.
Yeah. Oh, right. Tyler Preston is correct. We had a video covered with this once. Says, "Sir, stop listening to those 12-year-olds on Xbox chat." Anyone remembers that
Oh, I
motto?
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, because those are the people you complain about. You complain about 12-year-olds on the internet. 12-year-old
Yeah,
boys don't give a shit about girls. They just shit on
Yeah,
you for being an idiot in the game.
I never saw that.
Xbox Live.
I never saw
You got
that
the
much
messages of you're gay. Isn't it? It's just like waking up on a Saturday morning to Xbox Live, the little message, "You're gay" or "faggot" or "I fucked your mum." Ah, good times.
Yeah, fuck your mom.
Yeah, and it's like noob, hacker.
Yeah, I make more money than you. Sure you do,
And you're like,
buddy.
"Ooh, I know you're 11 years old from New Jersey, and you haven't got a clue what. I sucked your mum off last weekend, and it's like, oh, you're like 8. You don't know what you're on about. Oh,
That's
It's
so
okay.
cute.
ruffle the little hair.
Yeah.
And that's why we call them squeakers.
And usually, when someone discovers the person they're playing with is a girl, you usually want to impress her.
Yeah.
It's such a rarity to go in and like, oh, you're a girl, bitch. Unless you're maybe
Cuties.
small boy. Unless you're maybe small boy calling her a stupid bitch, which may work.
But at the same time, playing a game with, let's say, the love of your life, as an example, would be such a fine line. It's like you can't beat her too badly, but you also can't give her the win like a bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is usually the no-win scenario. You're like, what can I do?
I wouldn't say it's a no-win scenario. I think it's such a fine line where you have to balance it so that everyone wins in there.
Oh,
yeah,
I
so
remember.
like
I
what
remember.
says, if you can't beat him in the game, just beat him in real life. It just makes you hold on, I said that out loud.
I think breaking even is the best way.
You're breaking something somewhere, and that's all you have to,
Hopefully, no bones.
It's better than breaking your wallet, right?
Yeah. Or the fine
Better-
china.
Or breaking bank.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remembered in second grade, when I switched schools and I was in a class.
You beat
with,
up a girl?
No.
Oh my god!
No, that's another story.
Story?
Well, no,
Don't worry.
no,
For sure, we all did it once.
No. The girl beat up me in front of the class. In front of the teacher, and the teacher didn't say anything. And every time I defended myself, the teacher would ridicule me during the class. That wasn't fun. But the nice story is also scars you. The nice story is when I got into second grade. There was a girl from that was in my kindergarten group. That we were loose friends with, and one day she was over at my house, and we played Zelda: Link's Awakening, because there was a spot where I couldn't figure out what to do next, and so for 2-3 hours we played with this one Game Boy together.
Oh, I missed the Game Boy.
Yeah, and so what is this asshole here talking about? The people who attack women online are just ass-twats in real life. Nobody likes them. Nobody likes those types.
They're usually small kids who think gay is the greatest insult in the history of the world. And you're like, okay.
Or they already got a girl. Who knows? I don't know.
That is well. Most people are nice.
You're gonna talk shit.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but
get good.
Not all the time. Yeah. You tell me
you just go to the game.
Ooh. And when you sit in front, when you're not on different sides of the world via the internet, but sit in the same room and play games, you're usually not assholes towards each other. At worst, it's fun banter.
Yes.
No, at worst you get stop staring at my screen, you screen watching bastard. But that's about as much as you get.
And that's why you do what that one meme does, where it's like someone sits on the ground, the other one sits on the couch, and you have a flat piece of cardboard in between both parts of the screen.
Well, good man. Some of us didn't have fancy cardboard around to do that. So, some of us were like poor, so we had.
Well, don't you look like a fool? Because now you gotta buy it for the Nintendo Labo.
What are you talking about with cardboard? What?
No, that's the fancy schmancy cardboard.
Mm-hmm.
We had boxes.
All right. Let's
played with the boxes.
Okay. Let's mud out of the corner now so we can keep going.
Please.
Punch the girl.
He's already contemplating life.
Yeah, I feel like Smudge is like looking up noose making classes online, just so that he can properly do it this time.
All right.
Girl gamer, you make this online. A girl gamer is a kind of weird term because girl carries with it connotations of vulnerability and innocence and youth. Whereas in fact, women are playing video games now. My mum plays video games. Admittedly, I have to bribe her to do so, but she's playing them.
That wasn't funny, and it defeated your point.
Grand Theft Auto 5, how I got involved, how much it sold, and what it actually is. Now, like I said before, I was never actively pro-sexism before, but you know how sometimes you...
Wait, what? Did you just say I was never actively pro-sexist?
Wait, what's a pro-sexist?
And now's coming the butt?
No. Hold on. I was never technically pro-sexist.
Actively. Did he say technically or actively?
Actively.
Actively.
Oh.
So he was sexist, but now he's not?
I think he's saying the
I
quiet
was
part
sexist,
loud.
but secretly. I was secretly a sexist.
No. He's about to do the old. He's about to do the equivalent of it's not enough to be not racist.
Right?
You have to be actively anti-racist. He's about to say that only.
Yeah, I get it.
He's doing the cult indoctrination spiel. Yes.
The word anti-sexist comes out of his mouth. I'm gonna go ballistic.
He's about to say he kind of passively tolerated sexism and didn't notice it, and then after GTA 5 he started. That's what he's about to say. It is not enough to let Christ into your heart and pray every day. You also need to go on missions.
and convert them and spread the good word of Jesus Christ.
You also need to let beat your ass to the ground.
Don't any of you guys ever get sexist? Like, I've been, I've been discriminated with my sex.
Hey!
You know what? I don't care.
I'm an equal guy. I punch everyone. I even punched a girl in the back of the head.
But the hammers of justice are unisex. So.
What you wrote? Women deserve rights and left.
I remember that Batman episode too.
When people make stupid SJW type like white knighting in real life, I get nasty with sexist jokes about them and belittle them on what the fuck. But I'm sorry, I can't do it off the cuff. I need the actual situation to happen.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's because it's sexist jokes are mainly there to make fun of someone who's an idiot. If you do it just because you feel superior, that's called chauvinism. And it's not that chauvinism is a sole male towards female thing. That's a thing that feminists established, because it was still in the 80s and 90s that it was still called male chauvinism. Because chauvinism itself, they had to say male in front of it to that you would know what this meant. Because chauvinism in itself is only one group of people looks down on another group of people. That can be coat wearers against shirtless people. That can be tall against small. That can be color 1 against color 2. That can be this football club against that football club, or football fans against baseball fans, or against non-sports fans, or sports fans against sports fans.
But I'm now just imagining people who like are
DC fans.
Like, yeah, it's like people are heightist, down with midgets or something, and it's a bit like, well,
don't give him ideas.
That's a very strange stance.
Oh yeah.
Oh
no, I don't think we will get
for one more thing.
Yeah, although I don't think we will get heightism that easily. Because women heavily, they love to discriminate on height of men.
Yeah, heightism.
There you go.
So we've got it. Look at well done, guys. We defeated heightism, guys. We did it.
Is it heightism or heightisses?
Heightism. No, heightism.
Heightism.
Heightphobia.
Not heightism.
So I just looked this guy up on Twitter.
Oh God!
We got a
Why'd
link
you do that?
to his. Well, we got a link from Eric in the meme channel. With I guess his rant that turned into this TED talk. Because it was from even older. He shaved the beard. Now he has a terrible mustache. And a blue check mark.
Of course.
Does he still have the suspenders?
No. In his profile picture, he's wearing like a Hawaiian shirt.
No.
I see. Why? It's supposed to be. It's Hopper's shirt from Stranger Things, apparently.
Also, because it's always a blue check mark, for fuck's sake.
I'm still, from that description, I'm still getting male feminist rapist vibes.
His latest tweet is a retweet praising the stills that we saw from the live-action Cowboy Bebop today.
Ooh.
Oh, God. No.
What?
No.
Yeah, Faye is flat and Jet is black, because he has black in the name.
Cowboy Bebop?
What's the opinion on that so far? Because I got none.
I've never watched Cowboy Bebop, so
live action will always be shit.
Hold on, is this live action being done on Netflix, by the way?
It looks like 3 random people doing cosplay.
Apparently,
the cosplay is okay, but it's the wrong people doing it.
Yeah, the guy who plays Spike is 49 years old. Okay, he's a bit over the edge.
No one ever learn from Dragon Ball Evolution? That was 13 years ago.
or Death Note.
Question
I think Collision was the first major one.
In the original story, is Spike Asian or Jewish?
Spiegel?
Wait, hold on. Wait, what? What?
Yeah, well, it's because in the
Asian
Netflix
or
thing
Jewish.
he's played by an Asian guy, but in anime it's often hard to tell. But Spiegel is.
It's hard to tell the difference between an Asian and a Jewish person.
Yeah, not
In
everyone
anime,
looks like a happy
apparently.
merchant.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but
happy
Spiegel is a yeah, because Spiegel is a Jewish name. It means it translates into English as mirror, which implies that there was a family that was selling more sophisticated household wares, like silverwares and such. And at least the character in the anime has the typical big frizzled hair. So that I wouldn't say is indicators that he's not pure Asian or at least mixed. I don't know. Anyone who's deeper into Cowboy Bebop than I watched it twice can maybe comment on that. Because the actor they chose for it is just plain Asian.
Yeah, the best we have is the group he's a part of, the old mob group, is mostly Japanese Asian, but there's some names in there like Anastasia, which is clearly Russian. So there is no discernible other ethnicity of family because he doesn't really have. It's just he was a guy part of a group.
I am dreading the day they go for Big O. I'm dreading it with every fiber of my being.
I'm just dreading it, to be honest with you. It's just a constant dread. Just
everything will be made into shit. Everything will be made into shit.
Anyway, let's go.
Sometimes you form very strong opinions based on just how douchey the opposite of your opinions are. So when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, people started talking very vocally about how sexist video games are in general. And that's now, they drove me in the opposite direction, so I'm very grateful for that. But Grand Theft Auto 5 made a lot of money. Would you like to know how much money it made in 3 days?
I was just about to say, oh no, it made a lot of money. Fucking, how terrible, how bad.
Wonder how video games itself are sexist.
That has literally always been the reason why people go after Grand Theft Auto, because it makes millions.
Yeah, it's like
no.
You know
GTA
what this game
5
is
did not
sexist?
make millions. GTA 5 made billions with a B.
Yes.
Yes.
With a B.
Well, when in its release, it made millions.
Yeah, but the thing
He's
is
about to
this.
say it made $1 billion in 3 days.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's fine. But why does making $1 billion make it sexist?
Because capitalism.
No, it's not that making the money makes it sexist. He's going to say that it proves how sexist gamers are because they gave GTA 5 so much money.
Oh my god!
On a side note, doesn't that make GTA 5 the fastest selling game of all time?
It makes it the fastest selling piece of media of all time.
So what about the second most selling? Does that sexist too?
I believe
FIFA.
number 2 was the Avengers.
I'm gonna look it up.
Wait, what was it? What was that?
Bible, I think.
I believe it was
Bible.
the Avengers was the second fastest.
Well, I don't know about speed, but in
$1
terms of
billion.
overall, if you look at the top,
Overall?
yeah. Let me just check
Well,
that.
then you have to adjust for inflation and such. I don't know.
Overall, you would have to
What's
compete
that?
with entire franchises that have lasted several decades in other countries as well. For example, the whole Lupin franchise is, I think, since the late 60s, and it crosses manga, anime, live action movies, games. It's everywhere, and it is one of the biggest ones. But it's not that well known in the West. It is known, but not that well known.
If we're talking about single piece of media in general, book, movie, game, etc., then yes, the answer to number 1 ever is going to be the Bible. After that, I don't know, but
those are not always.
I mean, we're talking about. I said it was the fastest piece of media to reach $1 billion.
Yeah.
So
we know. Yeah.
number 2 was The Avengers. I don't know what's after that.
The original, the game or the original movie?
The Joss Whedon movie.
Okay, the first movie, yeah.
I don't think the game has topped $1 billion.
Yeah, even I don't think it topped anything.
It's not. It is yet to top anything. God, that game was so undercooked.
All right, here is Francis Ford Coppola. I'm dreading the live-action Helsing far more. Oh my God, they're doing a live-action Helsing? Why?
Oh my God, no!
Oh,
Never.
why would you? That.
Why is the West only capable of making shit?
So
Clearly Hollywood has never learned from Dragon Ball Evolution, like I said earlier, about making live-action anime.
I can't believe anymore that any of this is to make a profit. I think it's all just money laundering at this point.
I mean, wasn't Battle Angel Alita actually decent?
Yeah, but you had a guy who cared about it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you don't know the story, Cameron made the whole Avatar thing, the Blue Alien movie, solely as a technology test to see whether, to his standards, the technology of the whole 3D stuff of CGI was ready enough to do what he wanted to do with Battle Angel Alita. That's why they put no effort into the story. It was solely a tech demo to see if he could make Battle Angel Alita.
And it became the second highest grossing movie of all time.
Yeah, a tech demo. We watched a tech demo in cinema.
And we all know what has the top spot now.
Anyway, I was about to say, they'll make Integra a fat black woman when she was a darker-skinned blonde. They'll make Alucard a wimpy and passive, and make Ceres the strongest out the gate, and cast a woman to play Pip.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh,
What the?
Okay, moving on.
You're a Smud?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that they're going to cast these people.
yeah.
They'll just flip the characters around in the worst way possible.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'm just expecting
Yes, they
Uncharted to
always
become a one-legged, black, pregnant ex-convict.
Oh God!
If it's written by someone from Great Britain, I could see all that happening, just because the characters are British and they would do.
I'm honestly surprised the Castlevania cartoon stayed this close to the actual games.
Yeah, but then again, all the Castlevania show has to work off of is 3 and Curse of Darkness, which is barely anything compared to the whole series. It was in that case, it was mainly a matter of creative liberty with what fuck all they had.
Sorry about that.
It's fine. We won't hold it against you, Adros. It's perfectly fine. Don't allow it back up.
Anyway,
What was the kind of video even talking about?
I don't know.
He was talking about how much money GTA 5 made in 3 days.
It's a dumb. It's a dumb statement. Anyway,
He's
jealous?
trying to make a point that gamers are sexist because they bought GTA 5 and GTA 5 is sexist.
Yeah, but the thing is, if more women are gamers, then doesn't mean all the women are sexist as well?
Doesn't that mean women have to have bought GTA 5 in order to justify those selling numbers?
Let's hear them out.
The graph from earlier continuously disproves anything he's saying.
Yeah,
Whether
so
it's right or wrong.
You're assuming.
I remember what I wanted to say. Because he's gonna complain about GTA 5 being sexist because of the story, because of its depiction of women, because you can beat up prostitutes, just like any other GTA game.
Yeah.
And the relevant part here is there were people always complaining about the GTA games. Back to GTA 2, that I remember playing as a kid. And I didn't understand what the people's fucking problem was, because that's where pixels on the screen. It was a top-down game.
Yeah, definitely ramped up with GTA 3, which was the beginning of the end for Jack fucking Thompson.
Yeah, and it was the GTA 3 was the it's then switched to 3D.
Yes.
But with GTA 2 already, I think it was even censored for a while in Germany or on the cusp of it. I don't remember.
I believe so.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, of course, because oh god, we can drive over school kids. There were pixels on the barely. You could barely make it out what was on the screen.
Fucking gremlins, like in Death Race.
Yeah. Point being, the people who complained about the violence and sexism in GTA 2 had the exact same arguments as the SJWs on the left right now and at the time of this douchebag. And those people who made those complaints were conservative Christians, mainly women.
Well,
Puritan Christian mothers. And the social justice warriors have the exact same position and stance as the Puritan Christian mothers. The authoritarian assholes nobody liked.
And the best part about it is that GTA, starting with 3, used all that nonsense as its advertisement campaign.
Back then, when Rockstar didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yes, the very people that complain to death about GTA, even to this day, that's literally the ad campaign for this fucking game.
Yeah, and that's why I've been saying for years that the SJWs are not liberal or progressive, as they call their strive for socialism and try to make us believe that is in any way something positive. They are authoritarians, indistinguishable from dogmatic authoritarian Christians on the so-called right wing. They're the same fucking thing.
Yeah, they're all demons at the end of the day.
Yeah, and both want a totalitarian society where they control every move of you and what you do in your bedroom. Both want to do that. These are the same people.
Yes, they are.
The only difference is that they don't wear a cross around their necks, but a hammer and sickle. It's the only difference.
Well, the cross. Well, the necklace.
It's a cross.
Horizontally.
Siege and Carmageddon was also censored in Germany, although it was released, but they had to change all the people you could run over with aliens. So the blood was green.
Okay. I guess that's kind of okay.
It's a bit weird on the beach, but okay.
Anyway, let's
Mortal Kombat had the blood removed entirely.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Let's keep going, guys.
That's good.
Now, here, just as a quick backstory, I was going to do the voice and put the finger up in that, but I thought, that's not a current reference. No one wants to hear that. But then I forgot to take this slide out.
Okay.
So the joke's still in there. It's just
Nobody
crap.
cares.
You're wasting time.
Now, for those of you who don't know, Grand Theft Auto 5 is what we call a sandbox game. Basically, the game environment is like a sandbox, except there's rarely dog poo in it. Sometimes there is. But these games boast choice. It's all about choice. You go into these game worlds and you are promised an infinite amount of possibilities. You can choose what to drive and what to wear and who to kill with certain vehicles, but you cannot choose not to be a sexist prick, which is an unfortunate side effect.
I'm sorry.
Wait, what?
I'm sorry.
You can't...
Is he describing RPG? Or then, like, oh, well, you can make your own character, you have every choice. Isn't that an RPG more?
Well, he's describing
not GTA.
the open world concept, but you can choose to do whatever you like, as opposed to an RPG game with a multi-path story. So he's not using terms that we would use to a gaming audience because these are all women. So he has to.
I brought it up before. The thing is, no, you can't do anything you want in GTA because the cops will hound your ass.
Yeah, there's cops.
Sorry.
You can't.
That's also a way to play deliberately to see how long can I be on 5 stars and not get caught.
Yeah, that's a whole
at 5 stars.
Deploy military, bring the fucking tank.
No, so
remember.
And then let me steal the tank.
Yeah, that right there is a whole separate gameplay element from the main experience, which is the story and everything you do there.
But he's bitching that you can't be a what is it? What did he say? You can't be a
you can't
sexist
stop
piece
being
of shit.
sexist. You can't stop being sexist or something
Like
like
you
that.
could if you wanted to. Like you just don't kill the women. What?
Well,
I think he
gonna
means
say that the
story-wise.
characters are sexist or the story.
But it's a character. This is a story. It's not
Okay,
you.
yeah.
He's gonna say that
Exactly.
because
It's not an RPG where you could be a sexist prick if you wanted to.
I'm gonna use my powers of clairvoyance here, and say that he's gonna say the game is sexist because you can kill prostitutes, and because Michael's wife is naggy and annoying, and
his daughter is a slut.
And his
So you know what he is gonna say later?
Did you skip ahead?
Tanisha is the gold
Let
digger.
it play.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
but nobody gives
By
a shit
that
about Michael.
logic.
They just want to play as Trevor or Franklin.
Yeah.
They want to play as the black guy, or they want to play as the weird, obsessive meth head.
Michael was my favorite character to play. I hate Trevor.
Yeah.
What? You don't like the
Interesting.
game
Okay.
Psychopath on Drugs?
Never forget CJ from San Andreas.
Yeah.
Just follow the damn train.
Wait, but by that logic, wouldn't the game also be anti-cop since you can kill cops?
Well, yeah, I guess.
The
cops keep you from enjoying
You
the
think the
game.
socialists care about the damn cops?
No.
You don't give a shit about
doing the stuff you want to do.
This is a game, guys. This is a game where you commit crimes against criminals every 5 seconds, sometimes. And he's
And then the police
concerned-
shows up and messes everything up.
And he's concerned
good
about the
portion-
opinion of women of some of the characters, and it's like, dude, like,
In a good portion of GTA, you basically play as characters that are the equivalent of counter criminals.
Yeah,
Because
but he could also like.
that you also do fight against other criminals and win.
Could literally genocide an entire neighborhood.
Yeah, but you're also criminals.
I'm
Can
surprised you
genocide
have a
an
GTA
entire
4.
Guys, none of this has anything to do with what he said. He said you're a sexist. He didn't say anything about being a criminal.
No, but what we're bringing up is that there are so many little things.
We're
that you
bringing
can
up.
complain
I mean,
just as
no,
the
he's-
sexism.
Okay,
Don't forget,
yes.
in these people's minds, sexism is a crime, and you should be locked up for it.
yeah.
No,
so
I
murder,
understand that, but
theft-
people are making points about fighting against criminals. None of this has anything to do with what he's saying.
Okay, what he said? You're saying he said that it's sexist because you kill prostitutes, right?
He hasn't said anything yet. He just said you
Oh,
can't
yeah.
not be sexist. I'm just guessing.
I was tackling that guess.
My guess is going to be that he's going to ignore the fact that the ratio of people you kill is about 95-5 men to women.
No, it's equal.
Or maybe
It's
he
always
means that in the dialogue options, it is impossible to always blindly simp and agree with the women.
Maybe.
But
Also,
women
I don't
enjoy
know.
playing
See
GTA
what this guy
5. That's
says.
what I don't understand.
Also, in all GTA games, the vast majority of your kill targets are dudes.
Especially in
Women
missions.
enjoy playing. Like, I don't understand.
Most violent criminals are men. We should do something
Yes.
about this. Where's the parity?
Exactly.
So does that mean we're not sexist when the next GTA stars a woman?
I don't know. We need more female. We need more violent female criminals because the male violent criminals they are oppressing the female violent criminals.
Oh yes, exactly. The Renegade
women.
Nut view, right? Where he said we need more women in jail.
Yeah, it's like there's almost no female criminals in the stories of these games. Like, not like 1%, I guess.
Nah, yeah.
Anyway,
And tackling what
Like,
this guy
strictly
said.
in the story, strictly in like the main campaign of these games.
Tackling what this guy says about like, oh well, your character is a sexist. Almost every fucking character in almost every GTA story is a piece of shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you
They're
think?
just
Do
assholes.
you think gamers are just only playing GTA and not other games?
It's like literally part of the whole point of the stories in these games is that yes, most of the time you're playing as a complete piece of shit, but because of how they're written, it's like they're still a likable person despite being a straight up criminal.
Yeah, and it's not that we play these.
To GTA 3.
It's not that we play a game like this to, oh, I can be so mean to women. Oh yeah, it's the sexist story, so amazing. Oh no, we laugh about it. Like, my God, what assholes!
It's for the characters and the writing.
Yeah.
Well, in GTA 5 specifically, it was the selling point was like, oh, you get to be a bank robber. You can, customize how you want to do these heists.
GTA 5 especially because there's 3 playable characters, a first for the series.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they have different backgrounds, which was really interesting.
Yes, there's a lot more of a dynamic between characters, especially since all 3 you play as.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, on the screen you guys are seeing the GameSpot review for Nightmare Factory. That's just him being funny. It's the review for GTA 5.
Or like unfunny.
Yeah. There is no
Johnny
game
Gat.
called Nightmare Factory.
Oh.
So witty, this guy.
Anyway.
The GameSpot review Nightmare Factory, note, not an actual factory.
Oh shit.
When a game like this comes
So
out,
funny.
every gaming publication just massively invested in getting big, fast, entertaining reviews out the door straight away. And GameSpot, a very fine publication, gave the
Maybe
review to Carolyn.
part of the reason why they're so fast is
Carolyn
because
does
they have the
7-minute
game before it
video
comes
in
out.
which She basically heaps praise upon the game. I've never seen this many compliments in a game review. It's wonderful, and it's articulate, and it's hitting the mark on every point. And halfway through, Carolyn says, maybe the game's a bit sexist, and does a really good number on it, and then calls the game politically muddled and profoundly misogynistic, a claim that
That's GTA in general.
100% agree with. And then Carolyn rounds it off by giving it a 9 out of 10.
You don't like to be disagreed with, don't
Right?
you?
Would you like to see
No,
how
he
the
doesn't.
GameSpot readership responded to this very fair review? This is going to get really depressing, by the way, so just strap this. Did we give the straps to them?
Here
we
we
go.
go.
Oh,
The
so this is going to be
anonymous,
really funny.
the
Okay.
anonymous
Master Man Forever
comments.
said, you dropped the ball and committed suicide
Wait, let me see.
No, he's reading it. He's gonna read it.
Oh, okay,
on this
gotcha.
one, GameSpot. This is the biggest epic fail game review in the history of video game reviews. Wow, hyperbole much? You don't deserve to be dealt with delicately for this.
Projection.
You are clearly reactionary, attention-craving, misled, pretentious, pseudo-liberal asses for
Reactionary.
putting this woman
Wow, that guy was way ahead of the curve.
up to reviewing this game. The review is biased, narrow, and ultimately laughable.
What is the
for
problem
singling
with
out
saying
character
this woman?
inconsistencies and
The
misogyny as
woman who
reasons not to
reviewed
give
it was a
GTA 5
woman.
10. Yeah, well, that's not nice, right? Well, don't worry, it doesn't get worse. I'm kidding.
How's it not
totally
nice?
does.
No,
Box
it's
user
not
True,
Queen
though.
said,
Cyber from the chat mentions that the GameSpot review stated sexism 5 seconds in, not halfway in. Which wouldn't surprise me.
Ah, so he's a disingenuous person. Wow.
I like how he singled out the fact that the guy said this woman, like it's a woman who reviewed it.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll find out.
If it was a guy, they say this guy.
Yeah, the guy
The
is
story.
commenting on a woman who's saying these men. So what is the problem exactly?
I don't
Oh,
know.
Carol.
You can imply that these two are technically on the same side.
Yeah, Tyler Preston in the
Exactly.
chat seems to have heard of the author and Caroline, and if that is the author, and he says, I know who he's referring to. She's one of Anita Sarkeesian's cronies who's transgender, in quotation
Because
marks.
of course it always comes back to Anita. Fucking.
And
And the circle closes.
but he's doing the thing,
Ends up
right?
again. And the cycle
He's doing the
continues.
thing where it's just a bunch of random comments.
Mhm.
We don't
Yep.
see any responses. We don't see how much engagement there was. I don't know if GameSpot had a like system. I didn't use GameSpot, so we don't see whether it had likes. We don't see any of this. We don't see.
Yeah, but
like, this is
doesn't
just
every
this
game
guy
review get
looking
this?
for the worst things that he can find and taking it's cherry picking. That's all.
Yes.
It's the thing.
Yeah. Mhm.
We're going to see 2 or 3 examples, and he's going to springboard and say gamers are horrible misogynists because some people left some rude comments on this woman's review.
Yeah, and the whole joke is that if sexism is your problem with GTA, especially GTA 5, that depicts a horrible, broken family in a horrible city, for us to marvel at this horrible place where there are so many shitty people. Because we in our nice functioning lives, if we have them, if we are so lucky to have them, we don't know what that's like. And through games like this, we get a window into this hellhole and know, oh, well, that's shitty behavior. Good, my family's not like that. You know, it's kind of, we get a contrast. Now, but we can also see how much better we have it.
Well, he either wants
what we're doing wrong. This is good.
The game, mainly because the game itself takes place in San Andreas, which is, out of the 3 locations in the series, is the biggest hellhole of the 3.
It's supposed to reflect California, right?
In a way, yes.
Maybe he's personally insulted that the state that he's that he loves so much, that is so democratically run, so progressive, is one of the worst places on earth, in the Western world at least.
Well, he's Australian, so I don't know if he's sticking up for California.
He's either arguing for, I want this story to be super nice to everyone, or he wants no conflict within the family or the relationships in the story, because that would offend.
But then we have no story.
Well, we still don't know why he thinks the game is misogynist. Right now, he's saying these commenters are misogynist.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting
myself.
Although I think he might live in California because Twitter feed had some stuff from the Los Angeles Dodgers on it.
You say that.
Oh, really? Okay.
You say that. You mentioned Los Angeles. To correct myself, not only does the game take place in San Andreas, it's also specifically Los Santos, which is based on Los Angeles.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And if everybody's nice to each other, we have no story.
Okay, but we don't know that that's his issue. We, again, have cut him off before he started arguing why it's sexist.
Yeah.
If we're wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway,
right now he's just cherry picking random comments in response to one review by one person.
Anyway, let's go.
Exactly.
All caps, because the developer hates women, so they implant misogynistic themes in the game. Fuck your stupid flag for terrorism!
Oh no.
Joke! What are you...
Someone told a joke.
And this is the one that really made me...
he did
Only
3.
he can make jokes.
Okay, this is what video game journalism is today, because no one gave a shit about how women were portrayed in video games 2 years ago, but now because more women play video games, it's just one woman, apparently.
Oh, wow. Haha, he made a typo.
It's just one unfortunate woman.
It's a train.
Or woman.
It's suddenly a problem.
Okay.
Terrible
Grammar
review and not
Nazi,
objective at all.
wow.
This person should not be in the position to state her opinions as facts. Fuck GameSpot now. I had to cut thousands of comments.
First of all, he said fuck GameSpot. He said fuck GameSpot, not women. I'm sorry.
Can we get a clip of that?
The least offensive. What's depressing?
I don't believe you.
As aggressive attacks on Carolyn for critiquing a game, which is funny because she's a game critic and that's her job.
Okay, she's also terrible at it.
For women, and then you see that her there. Carolyn Petit is transgendered, and Carolyn received a multitude.
Oh, so it's really that person.
And a petition online to get her fired.
Oh no, not death threats.
That's kind of an underhanded response, right? So
no.
How dare people go online?
This is even more pathetic.
What are you talking about? So wait, they didn't know she was transgender, though, did she?
Yeah.
I mean, did they?
Yeah, nobody gave a fuck. Nobody knew. Yeah. So, and this makes it even more pathetic because a leftist who may or may not be actually trans, let's go with it is, that this person is really trans, for the sake of the argument, is someone who's not been a biological woman, complains, so transitions, and the first thing she does is complain about sexism against women in a video game. I'm sorry, you're a lunatic narcissist. That is bullshit. When that shows you don't give a shit about video games, and you only give a shit about being offended, because that gives you clout, that gives you attention, and you think you can berate people.
And
it's just.
And he's doing the she got death threats.
It's basically no different from a male feminist white knight complaining about sexism against women.
Okay, here's the thing when he says like,
you can give that rant especially some credit given who it's coming from right now.
Like when he says like, oh, they're complaining about her critiquing a game, and that's her job. It's like she's at her job. She's pretty shit at it.
If she's not
You're
good
pretty
at her
shit
job,
at the game if the first thing you complain about is part of the story.
And if she's really bad at her job as a game critic, I don't see the problem with petitioning to get her removed from being a game critic.
If she's being a bad game critic. Yeah.
And again, he said she got death threats. I don't believe she did. Like, anybody can say they did. And, like, I just saw this happen recently. I don't remember who it was, but somebody said something really stupid and said, oh, the death threats have started coming in, and showed 2 screenshots of accounts that had just been made. This was on Twitter. Just been made basically that day. And one said, I hope you die, and the other one said, die. And those were the death threats that she gave as examples of the death threats she received. Neither of those are death threats.
No, they're not.
At this point,
I hope you die is not a death threat. Kill yourself is not a death. I've said this before. These are not death threats.
Death threat would be, I'm going to go to your house and kill you.
At this point, KOIS is the equivalent of tapping someone on the nose and going, boop. It's nothing. Yeah. Literally nothing.
Like I said, he treats it as if, oh, this is the only way to critique a game. And he doesn't even look at what the fuck comments are saying. The comments are saying that she's not being objective, that she's not being factual.
Oh no!
But she's critiquing.
Are you saying you can critique art objectively? Oh no! Don't say that.
Oh no, that's a no word.
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah, but also
we're an alt-right podcast now.
But isn't this also the time period as well where people started to notice that game journalists were reviewing stuff really badly? This is like the start.
This is right around Gamergate. So people were noticing that a lot of game reviewers were just fucking writing whatever shit, and were just lying through their teeth about games. Well, this is and this is something that goes to Anita Sarkeesian used to make this point, and a lot of her followers would make this point, where they would say that the gamers, the collective, where you assign all of the beliefs you don't like to one group of nebulous people so that you can condemn all of them. The gamers say that they want games to be taken seriously as an art form, and then feminists will say, okay, then it can be subjected to feminist critique like everything else, and then the gamers start saying, no, not like that. But which is kind of what he's saying here, kind of what he's assuming. The problem is that kind of assumes that people who don't want feminist critique of video games accept feminist critique of other things. Like, I don't accept feminist critique of movies. Why would I accept it of video games?
This is all dependent on the subject material. You can do these things, but for the most part, there are no feminist video games. That doesn't make sense. Like, how would you even have a game mechanic around feminism? It doesn't lend itself to behavior.
I don't know. Last of Us.
But even then, like, I don't care. Like, I think you're bad at your job if your main point of critique of a video game or any piece of media is how feminist it is or isn't. Like, I'm going to say you're a bad critic because I don't accept feminist critique of things. I don't care what it is. I don't care about feminists' opinions of stuff.
Feminism, that's all about equality, right?
I think this this reviewer is a bad reviewer if she's complaining about feminism.
Because she's focused on an agenda, not on the quality itself.
All right, here is JS. Thanks, JS. Petition to make her fired. Sweetie, freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences. She's being held accountable. And if you actually look at the comments of this video, it's a very similar reaction. So,
yeah, let's move on.
So GameSpot, what they did is they did this massive video rebuttal, and they literally looked down the camera and said, "We are ashamed of you people, and we don't want to be affiliated with you anymore. If more game critic publications did this, the world would be not a far better place, but a moderately better place." So now on to part 5, in which I dip my toe in for MMGN. Also, some reasons as to why GTA 5 is actually objectively sexist. Probably should have put a full stop there instead of an exclamation.
Hold on.
Now it feels like you're making light of
Here's the one. Here's the bit I was mentioning earlier.
You're still not funny, dude.
Seriously, you're doing a TEDx talk.
You're not funny.
Sorry about that.
Put your suspenders on your shoulders.
I'm a video game critic for a publication called The Vine, but I also write for MMGN. And I played the game, and I agreed with GameSpot, like 100%. And I thought, what's the harm?
Of course you would.
Dude, I'm safe from criticism.
Of course you would. You're a game.
What an idiotic thought to inhabit my actual idiot head.
Yeah, it's almost like gamers' problems aren't with women.
Suggested the game might be sexist. And
Hold
I
on.
thought,
Idiots.
"Sweet,"
Hold on.
I said again, nothing compared to what women who are writing about the topic far better than I was, incidentally, copped. And at this point, we've gone, yeah, the game's sexist.
A simp.
But let's
What a
look at the
surprise.
game, why the game is actually sexist academically. First up, reason 1, 3 male leads.
So?
What the?
On the other side of no, let me just say this first. On the other side of this coin, Charlie's Angels exists. That one had 3 female leads. This is nothing new.
And also 3 horrible people.
Well, I mean the original, not the new one.
well, yeah, if there was 3 women leads as GTA 5, he'd be arguing, well, they're all just horrible criminals who kill people.
Murder.
Yeah,
Like other women or whatever.
yeah. If anything, the more logical complaint would be the fact that they're criminals. But no,
Like Trevor is a complete psycho. Michael isn't the best dad. Like at all.
He's a rat.
Well, they're all terrible people. That's the
Yeah,
point.
they're all terrible. Exactly.
Franklin's probably the least because he's just a pothead.
But I don't. But that's leaving all of that aside. Why is it sexist because there are 3 male leads? Why is that objectively sexist? Men exist.
Yeah, it's like, how many men are you supposed to have?
3 of them do things together at the same time. 3 or more men can get together and do things.
also, I find it ironic. That this guy's complaining about what he thinks GTA 5 did for the same things that the Charlie's Angels reboot actually did.
Yeah,
which is
well,
okay,
because I'm also thinking like Mortal Kombat.
Here, the Charlie's
like,
Angels
you can
reboot
play
came
as
out
men or
5
women.
years after this.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. He didn't know about it.
Not yet.
But the second, the second reboot of Charlie's Angels.
He didn't know that. He didn't know that Elizabeth Banks was going to crap the bed, making a terrible Charlie's
Yeah,
Angels
but no,
movie.
what I'm saying is that I find it ironic that this guy's complaining about this for GTA 5, and then years after the fact, we get the Charlie's Angels movie that did do something of this scale in terms of gender.
But the one with bloody Cameron Diaz did the same thing. They have films and games where there's multiple of the same sex protagonists. It's fine. It's okay.
Pretty sure
GTA 5 had three males. Okay. Great. Why is it sexist? Because there's 3 men. Why is
Red Dead
specifically?
Because you got 2 men?
No, Red Dead's sexist because you can punch women.
I'd like to compare the Ocean series. What was the Ocean series with all the women? What was that called?
Ocean's 8, because they couldn't find 11 women talented enough to be in the movie.
So we had 2 or 3 movies, 2 or 3 movies of men in a heist scenario, which were all fun movies. I thought they were rather fun. And then the last one is with women, and it bombs for whatever reason.
Oh dear.
Because it was bad.
Yeah, it was a bad story.
I mean, because men didn't go see it, and men are sexist.
Who was it? Wasn't?
It's not for men. It's not for men, but men are sexist because they don't watch their shit. Okay.
Yeah.
There's no winning.
It's not that the leads were all complete voids of charisma. It's not that Aquafina is like the least funny person alive.
Yeah,
it's because men just hate women.
Honestly, it's a lose-lose situation for men, and this is what these. If we go and see it and we say it's crap, we're bad. If we don't go and see it, we're bad. If we go and see it and say we like it, we're lying, so we don't get called bad. You know what I mean? And it's just a bit like, to be honest with you, most of us are just like, whatever. You're gonna say whatever you're gonna say, so we're gonna say whatever.
At that point, you're just like, you know what? I do hate women, and then you wonder where this come from, huh? I wonder why.
Can we get a clip of that comment?
Yeah, we are gonna get a clip. We are. Because Matthias is on it right now. He is like clipping that part. But yeah, it's just at the end of the day, it's just a bit like, yeah, sure. I've got a bloke who doesn't know how to use suspenders saying I'm sexist. Oh well, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess part of the problem inherently.
I guess I'll just go to sleep peacefully in my bed and
with your girl,
my life. Yeah.
All right, here is the Mechanist. Thank you for the $1.11. It doesn't matter if you're a guy, girl, or playing make believe. If you act like a kunt, then I'll call you a kunt. This failure of a man here is a cuck. Also on GTA, you can just be a weirdo standing on a train doing jazz hands. I wouldn't do that in real life.
Yeah, it's also a bit like when people say about it's just men just like connect with it. GTA 4. How can I connect with an Eastern European? What's all that about? How does that work?
Well, he hasn't made the argument for connecting or identifying. He's just saying that there are no women as main characters, and you're like, that's not really a problem.
That's not necessarily an issue.
Oh, I guess I gave him a bit too much credit.
He is dumbing down his argument to like, here's an example, and you're like, of what? What do you?
Here's an example of GTA.
I guess technically we did cut him off before he was going to elaborate on why it's sexist that there's 3 male leads.
But what is there to elaborate?
My guess is nonsense, probably.
Okay.
My guess is that he's still treating GTA as if it's an RPG.
Yeah, it's an RPG.
Because he mentioned it before. It's like, oh, you have all these choices, but you don't have the choices to stop your character from being sexist.
Yeah, why is there so many perks for being sexist?
Treating it as if it's an RPG. That's my guess.
It's not.
It's not. It's definitely not.
All right, let's go.
Like sometimes you're playing somebody else's character that they wrote.
Now, in my mind, and I'm aware I'm stepping into very sketchy territory here, in my mind, feminism is not about elevating women above men. It's about equality and taking people based on the merits of who they are.
It is. We'll move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm back. Sorry.
If the
that was very weak applause for that point.
It would be nice if they're female, and we'll talk more about
what
that
did I miss?
Yeah, the women in the audience are like, wait a second, no, it's about dominating men. What are you talking about?
I thought we all hated men here. Oh no, I guess we've been wrong for
clap.
Clap. Please clap.
Jim. Wisp, you missed the fact that he says in GTA 5, all the characters you choose are men. Therefore, it's sexist.
This guy's retarded.
There you go.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't matter. It's not a deal breaker, but it gets far, far more depressing. Reason 2, posters. Now, I was in Los Angeles fairly recently, and entire buildings were painted to look like the posters of this game. And the 4 main posters put in every capital city.
Because there's women in bikinis on the
there was
posters?
one for each of the 3 male leads, and
I
it was
swear
one
to
for
God,
this
that's the reason.
character. Who's this character, you might be thinking? She's not in the game!
Oh no.
They literally they've hired a model, Shelby Wellender. I've contacted her. She's lovely. But they contacted a model, and they basically created a character specifically
Wow,
for
why
this
are you
chest
harassing
area
women?
right here. And it's incredibly cynical and depressing.
Wow, they hired a model that's attractive. They made a cartoon out of her to sell something on a poster somewhere.
Yeah, they hired a model to sell a product that has never happened
Lindsay Lohan.
before.
They actually
honestly-
gave money to a woman. How dare they? What a horrible organization.
Was it Lindsay Lohan arguing that was her?
In hell.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. She did do that. That's yeah. You know, they could have just 3D modeled anything and then 2D'd it and then made a poster, but no, they spent the money to hire someone's likeness and cartoonified it and made a poster.
Yeah. I hope, you know what, there's a special place in hell for the sick bastards that give money to women to do a job. Fucking sexist.
Because women are attractive, and we can't ever make money or sell a product because women are attractive. That's just wrong. It's so old thinking, guys.
Yeah. What we've got to do is just stop using women.
Yeah, the entire interest level of men towards women, we have to stop doing that. We have to stop being attracted to women, guys. It's just...
Yeah. Guys, just
okay, all right.
Meanwhile, there's Nintendo on the corner.
Are any of you guys single?
Are any of you guys single? What?
Yeah, I am.
Oh my God, Ingerman, that was such a resigned admission.
Get the fuck out of here!
Yeah, because I was expecting shut the fuck up.
I'm kind of like, yes, I am single and I'm loving it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I'm single. Anyway, you can contact me.
Man, I'm with you.
0845
Moving on.
267. My Tinder profile is available.
Fuck Tinder.
Oh, don't tell me you're on, like, what is it, Bumble or whatever that really weird one is.
The really weird one? They're all weird.
They're all weird.
With Bumble is women have to make the first move.
Yes.
So as a guy, you can't message her.
Yeah, so basically, you're never going to find a date.
Oh God, no! Oh God, no! Yeah, no, yeah.
That's like the going against nature. Like you're going against human behavior right there. Yeah. It's like, yeah, that's not going to work.
Yeah, the women have to approach men. I can already see some problems here.
Yeah.
All right, so far we've got 3 male leads, and
a poster.
There was a woman on a poster, and it's bad because she's not in the game, I guess.
Yeah, but GTA does this all the time.
And the GameStop.
You would probably say they're all sexist.
Yeah, GTA has been doing this whole time since 3.
And he would probably say that they're all sexist. Like, he'd probably be consistent on that.
Yeah.
GTA is designed to go against normal societal norms. That's been the hook since the beginning.
So, normal societal norms, you mean societal norms, Ingerman? You don't have to put normal in front of normal.
I say normal because of the shit these morons are trying to push nowadays.
Yeah.
Moving on.
What?
My ass.
Okay, seriously, moving on.
Let's go.
It should be transparent, but it did sell a lot of games. That's a reason to be angry about the game. Reason 3.
That's a reason to be angry about the game is because it's sold.
It sold a lot of games, so that's a reason to be angry.
They did advertising and sold the product they were trying to sell. That's.
You should hate Avatar and Avengers Endgame because those are the 2 highest grossing films of all time? No!
Okay. Damn it, guys! We did all this. We did all this advertising, and we wanted our game not to sell well. We wanted to go bankrupt. What? God damn these people buying our products.
I mean, Marvel nowadays kind of is that way.
God damn these people giving us money so we can feed our families.
Yeah.
I want little Timmy to starve.
Bring up how Star Wars is digging its own grave, except for Mandalorian.
Okay. I think he's trying to like make this as if it's like false advertisement. But how it's not.
No, he's not even saying that. He's just saying it made money and they spent money on posters. And you're like, what?
Using a woman.
Wow, they had a budget.
They also paid for they also paid for the songs, you know? The songs that women sing.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's called a marketing budget. Now he's trying to make up a marketing budget as sexist now. How do you
He literally had the excuse of false advertisement right in his face, and he just ignored it.
He could have used that.
American money is sexist because they only have pictures of men.
Oh God.
But yeah, it made money, and that's a bad thing. Reason 3: the fiction of women in the game. I know women were wearing bikinis in a city that's really hot.
Which is very.
In California, they go on bikinis. They love that shit. Even like 100-pound women.
Well,
it's California, especially Los Angeles.
Let's remember that the GameSpot review gave it a 9, or that he agreed with 100%. So this is an amazing game, but he dislikes it because it sold. And how it sold.
Which has always been the dumbest excuse anyone has thrown at GTA in general.
I think when he says he agrees with it 100%.
How dare? He agrees with the sexism stuff, not the actual.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 9 out of 10. That's not bad. That's not a bad grade at all.
It made money, and that's bad. I'm just like.
You can say that about literally anything.
They exploited women. Come on.
Okay. I'm sorry, my connection seems to be unstable.
Oh.
It was the rant from earlier.
All right, let's go.
I think this Smudcast has the rant that was the most personal to Wisp. That's why his internet is just like, no, it can't handle it.
Yeah, we have to censor the German. The German government's after me. It must be that way.
That's nothing.
To be honest with you, that's not the worst thing that could happen after the end of this podcast.
I didn't say worst.
The last thing I remember is him ranting about that poster where they hired a model for it, which is the most normal thing in the world. It's a scenery. It's a depiction of the scenery in that city, and there's a beach girl. End of story. And he makes it about the chest area. The girl barely has a B cup, for fuck's sake.
The less we say about that other controversy surrounding that image, the better. I think I can't be the only one that remembers that.
No, what was it?
The fact that Lindsay Lohan tried to sue because she said that looked like her, even though it fucking didn't.
Oh,
thankfully she lost.
Oh, I thought that was Trevor.
No, not Trevor. No, that's a whole different thing. But it's like the artwork of the.
No, I meant the artwork
because another model looks similar to her.
Yeah, it's because apparently the lawsuit says that it apparently had the likeness of Lindsay Lohan without her permission, even though it's just generic female artwork.
Yes, Lindsay, that is a woman. Amazing. There are more of them out there. You're not the only
one. I think
Lindsay, that's a woman.
I think Ellen Page even complained about the same thing too, with Last of Us.
Back when they were Ellen.
Listen, Elliot Page doesn't complain about anything. He's a strong, independent, checks notes man.
Gay man.
Maybe.
Wait.
Yeah.
All these complaints, and the ones you're gonna make in number 3, and I think Sir Axelot and others have already predicted what they're gonna be. This could have been made. The exact same talk could have been held by some Christian Puritan moralizer.
Exactly.
Who tells us of the evils of gaming and how it corrupts our children with this unchristian stuff. promoting criminality and violence, and of course the sexism, the sex.
Even though like people played the GTA Online and you can create a woman, so you got guys running around being women, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's all the depictions of women in that. And someone in chat, I think it was Berserk 850, said that earlier that real California is worse than the GTA 5 fictional cities, because in the fictional cities of GTA 5, you at least don't get buckets full of poop thrown at you.
Yeah.
Hooray!
All right.
21st century.
Let's
Progressivism. Yay!
We throw books of shit.
The depiction of women in the game is not great because they're all either shrill harpies, new age housewives, or prostitutes. They jiggle around and bounce.
LA in general.
And you cannot in any way alter the trajectories, their downward trajectories in the story. Reason 4, quests that actively shame women. Now, there are...
Wait. Aren't there... Aren't there any... Are you telling me there are no fat Mexican housekeepers named Consuela?
Maybe in GTA 4.
They're all attractive women. Oh my god.
Is true or not?
Maybe in GTA 4, which is in Liberty City.
He did not share the body shaming argument yet. He's still in the women in general. He's not specific what kind of women, just women.
Never let this guy see Saints Row.
Near women. Oh Jesus fucking Christ! His suspenders will just like fly straight off his jeans.
He won't know what to do with. No, he won't know what to do with Saints Row, because in the game was is it the last game that was in this the Matrix world joke?
Oh yeah, that was the last.
Yeah, because he won't know what to do with that, because you can go bonkers with your character creation that puts Cyberpunk to shame. And
mind you, Saints Row's always done that.
Yeah, and so that's why I never understood the hype of Cyberpunk. It was pathetic.
Cyberpunk is just Saints Row before.
Yeah, you can do really everything in that game, and it would be on one side all the progressive shit he'd want, and on the other side, oh god, it's all the sexism, it's evil. He wouldn't know what to do with it. His head would just explode, I think.
Yeah. May I add in GTA 5?
A little tiny head.
What was that, Tedros? What did you say?
May I add in GTA 5, there's a literal mission where you're torturing a dude as Trevor. You could literally crush his balls, electrocute him, take off his teeth, break both of his kneecaps, and make him crawl to that airport.
I think there's an entire separate video complaining about that alone.
You can even go too far and he dies temporarily, and then he has.
Yeah, and then you have to resuscitate him. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's an entire separate video complaining that it's to a POC. A whole separate video for just that one scene because it's a guy of POC.
That's because it's done to not a white guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Not the action itself.
Yeah, not the fact that it's legitimate torture, actual criminal acts on another human being, like
torture and mutilation.
Doing it to a brown guy,
yeah,
and this guy probably doesn't take issue with that either, because it's not done to a woman. It's done to a man. The whole thing that it's done to a not white guy, that comes. I think that came later. Where they put emphasis on that.
There's even a guy out there that complained about back in the first version of Street Fighter 2, in the title screen, literally the first scene you see is a white guy punching out a black guy. Mind you, they changed that later. Someone complained about that, and also, but they conveniently leave out the fact that I think as early as Championship Edition changed that.
Because these people are such pussies. Everything's about them. Everything's only about them, and it's only about the superficialities. Yes. Fucking hell.
I'm just wondering
if your blackness is so fucking important to you,
Move to an African country and see how well they take you.
Yeah.
They'll rip you to shreds for your pussiness.
Fun in Sudan.
I was just remembering too, because there is an FBI agent, or FIB they call them, and it's a woman. So it's not like they're all just useless strippers, I guess.
I think I know what you're talking about. Was she in GTA 4?
Yes.
In 4, yes.
She turned into an asshole in GTA 5.
Oh, they brought her back? She was gonna torture that brown guy, and then she has that line where she's gonna shove the flashlight up his ass or something.
Was it the bitch that was keeping tabs on you through the Liberty newspaper thing?
Yeah.
When you're playing as Nico, and she gets. I
mean, when do you play as anyone else in GTA 4?
Yeah.
You play as Luis and Johnny.
In the main game?
No, in the DLCs.
I'm talking about the main game, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know those two guys.
Game you play as Nico.
Yeah, those two get their own DLCs because of the. I think they all connect because of the bank heist.
The diamonds.
The diamonds, yes, fuck that. And they also end up with a hobo anyway. They end up with a hobo that doesn't know what to do with them anyway. Fuck that.
It all goes back to hobos.
Yes. Okay,
right.
back to 5. Back to 5.
We're at 10 minutes. We got 6 left.
Good time, though.
I guess we can keep going.
Yeah, it's fine.
I guess. A game where you get on the back of a motorbike with a paparazzi, you chase down female actresses, shame them for having sex on their own private property, and then profit from that.
Oh, you mean like actual paparazzi?
That's a joke. Okay? Yes. The mission is that she pretends to be this all innocent Christian girl or whatever, and she's having sex with some guy in the patio or something.
Turns out she's the dirtiest whore in all of Los Santos at the end of the day.
Look, this is everyday Hollywood.
Yes.
What are you talking about? There was in the anime to Golgo 13, I think it was from the 80s. There was an episode about a paparazzi who did that for his life. That was his life's work until he got to his magnum opus with Golgo. That's what that's what paparazzi do, and it's not necessarily about shaming that person. In this case, it showed her true nature because she put up an act to profit off of.
Yeah,
and that's a different thing than having than playing a character on stage. It's you have a fake personality that you profit off of in front of the everyday camera, and then there's the real you. And when the real you is so far more decrepit than the nice, virtuous character that you portray yourself as in front of the public, that kind of isn't. That's the question: how much that is shaming, and how much that is just showing what kind of monster you really are. And I think you take personal issue with that because that reflects on a lot of your kind in social justice, the same way it reflects on a lot of very, very devout Christians who also are quite the monsters.
Yeah, showing the true colors. We rather make up narratives based on nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is, I really wish there was a bar right here that I could just go over and buy a drink at. But now,
yes, dude, we get it. You're funny.
Part 6. What will happen if you get online and claim this game or any others are sexist? Now, at this point, you're thinking, the game's sexist. It's sexist.
The claim doesn't
Why
make
don't I
it
get
so.
online and say something about it? Well, here's what you're going to experience if that happens. Typical response 1. That stupid face. This is a game, OMG. Why bring sexism or politics or whatever into it, OMG? Well,
because that's common sense to not do that unless it services the stories.
Yeah, and the claim, as I said, the claim doesn't make it true, and you claim that about absolutely fucking everything, because the way the sexism or whatever, even if it is there, is not portrayed the way you like it. Because you are completely fine with sexism against men. And as we know way too much now,
You have absolute your political camp, let's say. I don't know about you personally, but your political camp seems to be completely fine with sexualizing children and exploiting them.
Yep.
That
used to be
really
pro-sexism, remember?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's yeah.
When we bring that up, never talk about that, because that makes social justice look bad, right? Just like bringing up the pedophilia cases in the Jehovah's Witnesses makes the Jehovah's Witnesses look bad. That's why the children shouldn't talk about it. Same deal. Exact same deal. You are a church.
Okay.
Well, first of all, you disgusting, wrinkly bastard.
Oh, nice.
It is a game, but for about 10 years now, we've been trying to get video games recognized as an art form. And when you want something to be considered...
It is.
Whoa. Let's slow down here.
It is. It already is.
What's the matter, Smudge?
We're jumping to another.
Art reflects reality. Deal with it.
Yes.
He's making the argument.
And GTA 5 is a giant piece of art, and it reflects reality.
He's trying to make
in
the
a
argument,
way that you do not like reality to be.
He doesn't like this depiction of art, therefore it's not art.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just to be clear.
He's now making the argument that other people were using against video games before.
In his world, art should only be nice and depict the world in a positive view to strive for, meaning he only wants propaganda. With him, all art would end up being like Soviet propaganda.
Well, to me, it's as if he wants depictions of women in the most powerful, suggestive, but conservative dress in like Renaissance art or representative art.
And fat.
Yeah, especially, yeah. All versions of women fully clothed and like just dominating other people, like other men. That's what he wants is his study.
Would you say Bayonetta?
Go play Mortal Kombat. Go play Metroid.
Bayonetta.
Plenty of games that offer that. Okay. Yeah, Bayonetta.
What I don't get is how do socialists, like Puritan socialists like him, at the same time reconcile with the absolute degenerate fetishists within the socialist movement, and the art that they.
Wisp, that's what the gulags are for. Don't worry, they already know how to deal with the people.
But he'd end up there too because he's useless. To a socialist, to a true socialist society, once it's enacted, he is useless.
Yeah, but they all end up in the gulag anyway because that's what happens.
But that's not happening us right now.
I don't know. He wears belts and suspenders.
I don't understand your argument.
Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I like the fact that he says we are trying to make the video games look like an art form.
Yeah, you don't.
If it's all of us, we were all doing this, even though we already know.
So first off, I don't believe that he's a gamer. Second off, as I said, he's the same type that the Puritan Christians are that wanted to kill GTA 2 already.
Well,
so how is he the type who wants to make games an art form? That's
games
just
as art
him bullshitting us.
Exactly,
has been solved a long time ago. We never
just like the bullshit of this or that is dangerous. Like no
one is concerned about this topic anymore, and
it's all emotional manipulation.
And to
everything
say
this
that
guy says
to this group is kind of pointless because what do they care? They don't play
Yeah,
games.
they're women.
They're women. Yeah. They don't have opinions. They can't think for themselves.
Yeah, it's already an echo. This shit's already an echo chamber anyway. So why?
This guy doesn't make arguments. He's a preacher. He's a missionary.
He hasn't made an argument since. He just makes.
The women are just thinking, "Wow, this guy's really wearing suspenders."
Anyway, let's
and not even having them on like you're supposed to.
Let's go.
No, this guy's strawmans.
I really can't see myself with this guy.
I think this guy is a straw man. He's
This guy
falling
is
apart.
This guy is his own straw man in this.
I mean, his head's probably a straw man.
He looks, and I mean, he does look exhausted and wasted, as if he's going through rough stuff in his life and not ever recovering.
Hey, mention wanting a bar next to him so he can buy a drink.
Well, I mean, it's hard to be a cuckold nowadays.
I don't think it's alcoholism. I think it's. I've seen this a lot with people in these various socialist movements, or those that were captured by it. The people, they waste away through this because they're under constant stress, because they're constantly offended by everything. They have to constantly talk about it, and have to constantly fight, and there are constant threats from everywhere, be it Nazis, be it sexists, be it anime weebs.
Right. Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah.
It is recognized as an art form. And when you want something to be considered an art form, you need to start looking at it through the prism of politics.
Shut up, it already is.
Wait, guys.
Yeah.
Is recognized as an art form. And when you want something to be considered an art form, you need to start looking at it through the prism of politics and race and gender. And that's how things become art.
You fucking vicious
people.
Wait a second.
No, it's taking all of that out of your view of it.
Can you imagine?
Makes it art.
No. In fact, art form
it's taking out all of that bias and seeing it for what it is, not the other way around.
How am I supposed to put that shit in a Super Smash Bros?
What did he just describe?
How is the Venus of Milo any of that?
Well, yeah, that's part of it. What he just described was you need to put a prism or a lens in front of the thing you're observing in order for it to become art, which you could argue, okay, when I evaluate a piece of art, I use a particular lens because that is the lens for that thing. So a sculpture, I compare it to other sculptures. I say this is a representational piece of art. It's marble. It was done in the Rococo style or whatever style I understand it as. And then I evaluate it with that criteria in mind as a thing to evaluate empirically, not the political, social importance of that thing. That's not relevant.
The lens he's talking about is the one we all want to shatter and throw out the window.
Well, he is
regardless of whatever bullshit lens you use to distort your shitty reality, Tutankhamun's death mask will always be a piece of art.
Yes.
No, and like the whole point of art, like, usually it's best that you explore shit. What he wants is like shove an agenda and call it art. We don't want to explore, say, the human condition, which is usually the case. You explore a story or even a painting, the human condition, sometimes human suffering, human triumph. It's more psychological than political.
If you put your weird lenses in front of everything to look for the things you have or interpret them into them when they're not there, that is where I call it, this obsession, that's what I call political fetishism. You are looking for these things. You are obsessed with them. And you feel good when you find them.
So in order to understand or appreciate art, you don't need politics, you don't need sexism, you don't need racism, you don't need any of those things. You need an understanding of what the thing is and how it works. So
and you can't take out any bias or preconception of it.
So what you're doing is this idea called aesthetics, where you're not necessarily looking for beauty, although that's the definition of what you're trying to observe.
Part of it. It's a big part of it.
You are assessing the thing as another thing. So if you have a chair, you compare it to another chair. You say, how is this chair aesthetically pleasing? Can I use it as a chair? Can I use it as a piece of visual design? Is there something
what color is
texture
it?
about? Yeah, the color, all the elements that make an object attractive. And that's
and not just objects. And it's also about you can have an appreciation for the master level skill that is put into something, whether that is intricate ornamentation or in other physical things. Like, it's called martial arts for a reason.
Yeah, you don't use the same lens for martial arts as you would for music. but it's still a craft and skill.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
Well, no, but that'd be silly.
I fucking paint flowers.
But I do see overlap there because it's all about execution of the instructions, of the techniques.
Right. There is a standard for evaluation of these things, and he's just throwing in words like a political lens or a political prism with sexism and rape. And you're like, okay, you could do that with certain kinds of art for sure. I wouldn't disagree with that, but not. It doesn't suddenly become art when you start doing that. You're missing the point.
Yeah, and music is a great example because there is art in creating the piece and writing the music. Especially classical music is a prime example, I suppose I would say, or the easiest to digest. And there is art in playing that very music. Those are two art forms in itself, in one category. And you could make a similar argument, although it's probably not on the same level, with a great video game that is amazing in all aspects, and a speedrunner who masters the perfection of getting through the game, which is similar to playing a musical piece perfectly. You hit all the notes, all the buttons at the right moments.
Exactly.
Yep.
So this is, I would say,
is art.
An issue with.
I fucking paint flowers, for fuck's sake. I don't know what the fuck. How the fuck is that going to be political?
Well,
I'm also thinking there's also
yellow flower
competitive play against these,
If you paint the red rose, you are political because that is the symbol of the Labour Party in the United Kingdom.
It's the red rose is the symbol of socialists everywhere in the world.
Yeah, what they put on their Twitter
mine were
accounts.
yellow.
Yeah, this is.
And they always hold it. They always hold it in a clenched fist, like as if they want to punch you with
like
it.
Arthur, nice.
Arthur's communist.
And I walked away for like 25 minutes, and you guys got through like a minute of video. It must have been real bad.
Oh god, yeah.
And I was disconnected for half an hour.
It's Eric. He just won't shut up.
This pause screen is a modern work of art. Let me tell you something.
I know you didn't just try to blame me.
He looks like he's surprised he's tasing himself or something.
I think he's just realised he's in the room full of women. And he's like, oh no, it's
I'm gonna get so laid after this.
I'm gonna get so laid whether they want to or not.
Yeah, these 47% of my audience are gamers apparently. So
47% of my audience don't take well to roofies, so it's
47% of our audience is normal.
All right. Let's
we can finish this. Guys.
Yeah.
Literally, again, death threats against Roger Ebert, who claimed over a long period that video games weren't art. And then I went to New York, and I was in MoMA, and I sat there and sat amongst an exhibit of video games as art, and I watched old dudes who hate video games sit there and take them seriously and treat them like art. We are so close to it. This is kind of a personal beef of mine. But these responses are going to get gross. Typical response 2, OMG, but seriously, sexism doesn't matter. Okay. Well,
sounds like I heard that one. Sounds like a straw man.
People complain about things that matter to them, yeah? So these people will get online and write hundreds and hundreds of pages on message boards about how graphics aren't good enough, or about how there's not enough downloadable content, or about how you inexplicably can't take your hat off even indoors in Pokemon X and Y. What's that about? But then
who the fuck complains about any of that?
I've never
Maybe
heard
that was I don't know.
Lots of people complain about graphics and lack of additional DLC support. Oh, you mean not taking your hat off in X and Y? That was
that specifically. It's like who the fuck? Yeah,
no one. That was another attempt at a joke.
Yeah, but we're talking about
he's bad at those.
We're talking about gamers talking about the elements of a game, not an adult saying, "Oh, this game is too sexist because it has men talking down to women or some nonsense." You're like, Okay.
Yeah, those first two are actual video game complaints.
Yeah, well,
Trying to compare them to the bullshit he's spewing.
He's about to say feminism is important to sexism in gaming is important to him, and that's why he's talking about.
Let's get. Let's
see. Yeah,
like we've been at this for like how long has the stream gone on for now?
4 hours.
We're at 2 hours and 44 minutes.
Yeah,
okay. I was close.
Get through this to the Raid Shadow Legends ad.
Oh, okay. TED Talks is branching out, I guess.
Let's keep going.
That's because they care about these things, yeah? Logically, that's because they care about these things. So because they get online and dedicate just as much energy to actively attacking and berating people who claim that games are sexist, logically implies that they are pro-sexism.
No, it doesn't. It
God,
doesn't.
What the hell?
You are absolutely insane. Just because we do not instantly buy into your religious bullshit.
It logically implies that they don't like being called sexist, or that they are not sexist, or that they disagree that the game is sexist. It does not imply that they're pro-sexist.
We complain about it because people like you are lying out of your asses about it.
And you are lying out of your asses about it because you do not want us to see actual sexism depicted, like in GTA 5. That's how we can see what it's like, what it's really like, so that if we don't know what actual sexism is like, you can go around and call every minute bullshit thing that isn't sexism, so that you can control us. That's what you're doing.
Yes.
That was the
same thing you do with the whole transphobia shit.
The statement the statement art reflects reality is no more personified than in GTA, and that is what people like him don't like.
Yeah, like that was the most incredibly bad faith interpretation of people pushing back against people like him. Like that statement right there gives it away. He is not interested in listening to the other side. He doesn't care. He has his soapbox, and if you don't agree with his soapbox, you're a bad person. In other words, he's a typical leftist. He doesn't understand why people would disagree with him. He thinks people can't disagree with him and still be a moral person.
Well, I don't even know. I don't even care what his opinion is. He just doesn't understand logic. And if he thinks this is logic, this is what it means to be logical, I'm like, I'm sorry, sir, that's not what logic is.
He can't be logical. He can only be emotional.
Like the time that you put is being proactively being a sexist?
He could have been talking about
he may believe that this is logic, but it isn't. It's just emotion. And the real problem is that we've had this exact discourse for 10 years now, about 10 years on this kind of level, because how old the social media stuff is.
20 in the case of GTA specifically.
Just with the whole video stuff, it's about 10 years. And these people haven't changed their position even one bit.
No, they haven't even
do not
changed their
listen
rhetoric
to anything. Yes, all the strawman arguments are the exact same. It is solely dogma, and all that has changed is that these people have gotten political power because all we did was argue against them on the internet where they don't care about it, instead of fighting them where it matters, and that is in the parliaments.
Yeah. Like
notice
like
how
this video is from 2014. It could have come out yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
This is the same message as it's been since. Like nothing has changed
at least
in 8 years since this video
the gaming
came out.
community, and we want to make it whatever we want to make it, and gatekeep anybody who doesn't like it.
And this is just the woke agenda bullshit. Let's not even forget the shit that's been against gaming in general for the last almost 40 years.
Yeah, gaming is being attacked from the conservatives and the socialists
since day one.
It doesn't stop.
And notice how the guy literally portrays the argument of like the quote unquote sexist, like, oh, sexism isn't a big deal. It's like I've never heard someone again saying that.
Yeah, no, I can't deal with this guy anymore.
Yeah, it's not a big deal in writing.
You kids have fun with the rest of this. This is a bunch of nonsense. I'm out of here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
See ya.
Have a
No,
good time.
stick around.
Have a good
Stay.
time.
No,
man.
my roommates are inviting me out
No.
for ice cream. That
Ooh.
sounds a lot more appealing than this crap.
I'm
wanna
I
cut.
come. I want
Later.
ice cream.
Wait,
Have
hold
a
on.
good one.
Can we come with you? Like, oh
Yeah.
Oh, he's already gone, Hawk. He's already
No.
gone. He's been sucked in by the ice cream.
I hate my life.
Now I'm going downstairs to get some
Like
ice
I
cream.
said. Like I said, he's strawmanning. He already started off by strawmanning the argument, making us like, oh, see, they just think sexism isn't actually a big deal. And then he just goes on trying to quote unquote explain himself, which is fucking retarded.
By saying nothing, yeah.
I know
and
Tadros just made a really good point, but I'm thinking of ice cream right now. Sorry.
That is
What,
that is fair. That is
and
completely fair.
the only real difference between the conservative Christians and the socialists in regards to video games is that the conservative Christians have only attacked it from the outside. The socialists are getting into the companies, are getting into the games journalism to control the whole thing and use it for their propaganda. The conservatives never did that, at least not on this scale and not this effectively.
Yeah, because
And had the Christian conservatives done this, all the companies would go broke as well, the same way, because no one wants to buy propaganda.
I wasn't like,
games.
oh my god.
Oh god.
Anyway,
Imagine RPG.
let's go.
It's an RPG and you're Jesus.
Become Jesus.
Whatever.
That is a game, by the way.
let's go.
Oh yeah, I heard. Did it even get released?
Sure. Yeah, let's just go.
Let's go on.
Something to bear in mind. Aren't people fun? Typical response 3. OMG, it's satire. Get over it. Men are just as bad as women in the game. OMG, OMG. They say OMG a lot, basically.
It's a joke. Oh my
I
First of all,
rarely
I've
hear
consulted
OMG, but
a
okay.
multitude of comedian friends of mine who have all looked at this as satire and said, no, satire is a scalpel. It's not a blunt instrument, and this is not good satire. Secondly,
Yes, it is.
the women in the game and the men, they're all monsters, right? But the men get something the women don't. They get agency. They get backstories explaining away why they're monsters. They get quests which actively redeem them as human beings, and
Because they're the main characters.
Wait. No. They don't get redeemed. Okay, we're not talking
Yeah, they
about
don't
Red
get
Dead
redeemed
Redemption.
either.
This is GTA 5 we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they get so much attention because they're the main playable characters, you dumbass.
Yeah,
I've never
There's
seen
three
I've
different
never seen
endings
Trevor.
to how this game. There's 3 different endings to how this game can go. You either kill one of the other main characters, or you save all.
Michael
of
or
them.
Trevor. Yeah.
Yeah. What a dumbass! And they continue to be shitty people as they were.
They never change.
Oh, yeah, so
Trevor,
that is the
especially
dumbest
Trevor.
take so far. Oh, they get so much attention because they're men.
So-
They get so much attention because they're the leads.
So if we want to
Okay, how about the side characters? The men get as much attention as women in terms of like how bad they are or how good they are.
Oh, like Steve
Yeah, and
Hennings.
And
If
even
anybody
then,
remember that guy?
even then, in GTA, a lot of side characters do get almost as much attention as the leads,
well, we could argue
which help.
all of the
which,
GTAs
Including women.
were
Yeah.
exaggerations of a certain city or certain tone, and they were meant to be fun. Fun and
Yeah,
funny.
GTA was an even greater exaggeration of reality before GTA 4. Just look at Vice City.
Yeah,
Mhm.
at some point you play the stock market and you have to assassinate people so that you could have an advantage on the stock market.
Yeah, if you think GTA 4 and
Funny.
5 are crazy about like the madness that can go on in GTA, play the original trilogy
Mhm.
from the PS2 Xbox days. Just see how much ridiculous shit you can have happen in those.
Oh, and
Also, I'm very interested to see what comedians he talked to that couldn't take, like, oh, it's bad satire. Yeah, I wonder. Probably
GTA
Amy Schumer.
GTA has had a crap ton of comedians.
these people
play
have no
characters
sense
in it.
of humor. They couldn't spot. They can't spot satire when it bites them in the ass. They just call their own insults satire because that's all they know to do. These people are not funny. They only insult things. They only look down. They're condescending, and you can hear him in his speech, the way in his tone, how he's condescending. On another note, I would really like to see the same talk of his done about the first game of the Gothic series, because that plays in a prison camp that is under a magical barrier, so you can get in, but you can't get out. You get lightning zapped by it, and the people in the prison colony, they are to mine a magical ore, and in order so that they are pleased, you have 3 camps in that. In the end, you can join either of them, and the kingdom that runs this prison mining camp also at times sends female slaves into it for the leaders of those camps to enjoy. That's the only women within that game. A bunch of female slaves. That is not much parity. That's also a very, very rough world. It's a very, very dark medieval world. And I would like to hear his take on that, because that is a realistic scenario. It's not a real world. It's a fantasy world with fireballs and shit, and skeletons and stuff, and old gods. However, the whole scenario of prison camp with forced labor mining, and the leaders in that prison camp living like nobles, having sex slaves, that's a pretty realistic setup.
Yeah.
And he would criticize it. He would criticize it for being sexist and not having female parity in the prison camp.
Yeah, he can't expand his tiny mind.
Yeah, he can only see everything through this filter, because these lenses are not. They are like in
tiny mind. That's generous.
Yeah, when you are in an amusement park, and there's this hall of mirrors with these mirrors that do not show you what things really look like, but show them askew. That's what he's using, and his lenses are filters. They only let through light of certain wavelengths. They do not let him see reality as it is.
Yes.
So that's he's deliberately blinding himself and distorting reality. That is what this ideology is doing, and thereby it's brainwashing him. He's brainwashing himself because he's told you need to view the world through lenses. It is impossible to not view the world through lenses. You can only understand the world if you look through it through lenses, and our lens is the correct one. Never look through any other lens. This is brainwashing.
Yes.
And it's sold to you as good.
All right.
Again,
as virtuous.
The three main characters getting so much attention, not because they're important to the plot, but because of their gender. Yes, sure. One.
Okay.
Hooray.
Anyway,
Let's go on.
They come off more like puckish rogues, whereas the women don't move an inch. Now, part 7. How do we respond to these idiots? Flipping tables really helps, by the way. But what you don't want to do when flipping a table is be sitting across from someone who's flipping one at the same time, because then the table just goes up and down.
Oh, Jesus, shut the fuck up.
Dude, holy shit!
Response to people like this, and the thing you should be saying to game developers if you ever interact with them is, tell me, using diagrams where appropriate, how putting a character, a female character with amazing agency and grace and poise and depth in your game would in any way impact what you're trying to achieve in the story. And then you
Half Shepherd. Oh wait, sorry, that's a plank.
Because basically, you can't dispute that. GTA 5 is a good game, but it would have been great with female characters in there.
Okay, so I can already dispute that.
I'm confused.
Imagine if one of the
way he said that, it's like there's no female characters at all in the game.
Well, no, just imagine Trevor is a woman.
Yeah.
Just imagine that.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
All he's going to do is argue this woman is not a good depiction of femininity. She's insane. She kills people. She's a horrible role model. Yada yada yada. It's just going to be the same argument.
We burn her alive. Just like
she's a meth head. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Honestly,
we burn her alive.
You can just fucking predict everything that he's going to say about this point, and as Smud put it, you know, even if it had been like that, everything he would say against it's wow.
She's a
It
female.
basically comes down
I'm trying
to
to imagine what that looks like. She cheats on her spouse, and she's always complaining about everything.
Also,
Michael complains about everything. That's great.
she'll only be
Also,
a good
I don't
character
know-
if she shits on women. If she shits on men. And it all comes down to the game doesn't have women, or the game doesn't have a female playable character, and that's sexist, or
also
the women in the game and your female main character is not depicted perfect enough.
Also, Paul,
It is not winnable.
Also, Paul, I'm pretty sure you don't know. There actually was a main female character in GTA, not a long time ago. She was called Catalina in GTA 3. The way she was written, you wanted to shoot her in the head the first chance you got.
Oh yeah, GTA 3. I forgot.
Because she leaves you for dead.
Yeah, she betrays you.
Yes. And she even comes. They even bring her back in San Andreas, which takes place like 9 years before that. And even in that, she's still a bitch.
It's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
I'm just imagining.
Played it.
Yeah,
You're saying
if you have the characters in games that fulfill his criteria, partially or completely, he will have something to complain anyway. If it is Samus Aran, he will complain that, there's not enough story in the game. Well, we have the backstory in the manga. She is a complex character. However, we go to Bayonetta, strong character, too sexy. She has an interesting childhood, backstory, time travel bullshit. Oh my god, horrible brainfuck. Or we can go to, Okami, you play as a wolf, but essentially you play as a goddess. She just doesn't speak. Is that strong enough for you? Then we have.
Also think of times
my favorite for this is Mithra especially in the Torna DLC, where we get the full story of her character, where she is a deeply troubled character, ultimately powerful, can't cook for shit, and he would complain about her because she's too sexy. She has too big boobs, and they even gave her a dress that covers up her boob window in the DLC.
Aww.
And they try to make you put it on because it increases crit chance by 50% or something. Some insane stat, and I thought like, no, that dress looks like shit. It completely destroys the design of a dress. Fuck that. But he would complain, and the SJWs did complain about the Xenoblade girls, but only after they got into Smash Brothers. They completely ignored the game before that. And that is after for Smash they even got the boob size reduced already. And they still complain because it's still too big. Because anything above a C cup, above a B cup, is too big for these guys. As he already essentially proved by complaining about the GTA 5 ad, which is not that far from flat. And that was already too much for him. This fucking Puritan anti-sexuality Christian, quasi-Christian.
Well, they even did that with Tomb Raider, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the reboot.
Lara Croft got a boob reduction over and over again until she's almost flat now. Yeah. Like, what the hell happened?
That, and they made her a complete coward.
And turned her ugly.
Ugly and a coward.
Yeah, and most women don't have a problem with Lara Croft being sexy, or Samus Aran being sexy, or Mithra being sexy. They love that because they love seeing themselves in that. They don't need characters that look like them. They, like men, like to imagine themselves in the stories as amazing characters.
Especially Samus Aran, where Nintendo makes it so that her actions speak for her character.
Oh yes, Oh yes.
Always, and she has done some major planet-busting shit throughout the whole series.
Yeah.
That she's essentially one of the most powerful Nintendo characters, at least first party.
Yeah, and it's only the SJWs who want characters that either look like them or are uglier than them. Because these are deeply jealous people. Shallow, superficial, and jealous. They are the people driven by hate. Them calling everyone hateful or hate-driven is pure projection. Because we all seem to be doing fine with each other and with people of different skin shades and the sexes and weird conditions and whether someone's homosexual or not. We don't give a shit. We give a shit about what someone has to say, whether you're fun to be around. That's what we give a shit about. You don't give a shit about that. We just by enjoying each other's company, playing a game together, for example, that's what brings us together. Of all the races, of all the sexes, of all the whatever, across the political spectrum. Well, except for you people, because the moment you people notice, oh, these people don't have my opinion, I can't associate with them anymore. So you group together with your other insane friends that are all, by the way, or majority, all white, while we, the evil reactionaries who don't like your socialist, authoritarian, religious, quasi-religious bullshit, we are all the races and all the sexes and all the stuff, and we are the diverse people that you would want to be.
Yes. We've already achieved decades ago what you've been fighting for. You've claimed to be fighting for in just a few short years. We've already had what you claim to want in media.
Yeah,
and so that's what you don't like.
Yeah, and that's why they're trying to tell people that it's actually not the case, and they're trying to stoke the flames, and they're trying to. So they're trying to.
Complete and utter manipulation and brainwashing, plain and simple.
And they're trying to tell us at the same time that, oh, we're not doing it the right way.
Yes, we are. Fuck you.
Yeah, we are.
Yes, we are. We have been doing it for decades.
We got a German, we got a Canadian, we got a British.
We are all inclusive. We don't care what race or gender or whatever you are. As long as you have the passion for whatever medium you decide to invest yourself in and can share that enjoyment with others, that's all that matters. And that's always been the only thing that matters.
Plus, if you're from Morocco, in which case, die.
Well, yeah. Come on, dude. I'm trying to make a legitimate point here.
We don't do that here, Gingerman. We don't do that here.
Okay, no, in all seriousness, no. It's like that. These people are so nutty in the head that they just can't accept it.
Yeah, and that's what's ruining gaming too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we can continue with the video, so we can just finish.
Or we can just go to memes.
I think we're almost there. We're almost there.
We're almost done. We're almost done.
Come on.
You know, women and girls and anything, it would have been absolutely magical. But it's making me really angry. And the fact is that people are growing up with fictional characters, and people inhale fictional characters at a rate of knots. It's really important for young girls and boys to have fictional role models as well as, real ones. And if they grow up looking at people from GTA 5, they grow up in a monster.
But what kid plays GTA 5?
You fucking abusive, neglectful, shitty parent! You let your kid play an 18+ game? You are the reason we have all this bullshit censorship in the first place, because you do not even look at the fucking age rating of the fucking content. This is GTA 5 is not a game for kids, you fucking idiot.
At all.
Shoot yourself so you finally have something in your head. Bloody hell!
Oh my Jesus! Okay.
Should have Wisp for TED Talks.
Yeah. Listen to the woman.
This is the same fucking shit that these authoritarian Puritan Christians went on about. They wanted to censor games that were already 18 plus. So that we can't buy them. So that adults can't buy them. Because they are too stupid to take a look at what they're buying for their children. They're too stupid to use the parental controls of the fucking stuff they have in their apartment. And this guy stands here and says, "Oh, children shouldn't have the characters from GTA 5 as role models." How can they when they can't have access to the game because they are under 18? And you're a parent that takes the shit seriously. You are an abusive motherfucker.
Plus, didn't the statistics he showed earlier show that it was just women over 18? So what little girls?
You fucking asshole.
Little girls are playing GTA 5. I just don't get it.
This is I want to say beyond propaganda, but it's the exact same propaganda we got from the authoritarian right. The same lies.
I think it got worse because it just got deeper.
Man.
Speaking of role models from this guy, besides the whole GTA 5 part, it kind of reminds me of, do you guys ever watch Brown Table video that pretty much talks about Tobey Maguire and Miles Morales?
No, I try to not watch Brown Table.
Why do I want to watch Brown Table? I have a lot.
To be fair, I was watching it through EFAP, but Brown Table says like, oh well, you know, he used to think that you just judge the character by his content, by his personality. You relate to him by his personality, what he does, what he believes in, who he is. And then he says, well, I had an epiphany because Miles spoke Mexican. Now he relates to Miles more because he spoke Mexican.
What?
Spanish.
What?
I shit you not.
That is pathetic.
It is fucking pathetic. It's literally what they want. It's like they don't want anything deep.
Am I supposed to like Montenegro because he speaks Spanish sometimes?
Yes.
Do I now relate better to Battlestar because he speaks fluent German without accent?
Yes.
Well, you do actually like that character a lot. Well, I will say that.
Hola, hermano. Hey, I'm gonna kill you.
I just feel like anyone who says that, it's like, so what? Eric's like idol is Speedy Gonzalez or something.
I'm that midget Egyptian soldier in Transformers 2. I related to this guy
exactly.
a lot.
This is really everything that makes you better relate to others. That just proves your emotional immaturity.
Yeah.
It's so mind-boggling because it's like he went backwards. Because like it's like, oh no, I believe in this is going forward, and it's like, oh, I'm going backwards again. Bye. It's like, oh, you fucking muppet.
It's the destruction of everything. Yay! Let's tear it all down.
Here he is, and here's this guy, and his name is what? Paul, whatever the fuck. He's like, no, you should have role models that has
Verhoeven,
to be
right?
I don't.
Verhoeven. I'm gonna call him Verhoeven.
He's a hoe.
Verhoeven. He's a hoe. Yeah.
Anyway, let's.
Or he wishes he could be one.
That's good.
Yeah.
Written female characters. Lara Croft in the new Tomb Raider game. Alex Vance from Half-Life 2. I had the maddest crush on her when I was growing up.
So he's gay.
Oh, right.
What?
Why am I not surprised?
She's very recent. Professor Liara Tassoni from Mass Effect. And then
I hated Liara. You already know that.
And there's a smudge stake in this.
Princess Zelda sits back and manipulates the mute, useless hero around the environment like a chess piece. And when Link can't achieve anything on his own, she dresses up at night as a badass character called Sheik, and then she sneaks out and kills the people he can't deal with, and then comes back. She's basically the Cersei
You're lying.
of video games, is what I'm saying.
I don't think that's what she is.
So this is a complete lie. Sheik is not running around killing the people Link can't. what the fuck? Where did you get that bullshit from? And Zelda, and this is shown in Skyward Sword, where Zelda is aware of her past memories, because that's the quest she goes on, where she's ahead of Link in visiting all the sacred springs, where she gets, because she is an incarnation of the goddess, and she gets her goddess memories. How do you say that? Revealed to her, so that she knows what she actually has to do, what the plan of the goddess was, and why she incarnated as Zelda. And at the end of the second chapter of the game, so I'd say Skyward Sword has 3 chapters. At the end of the second chapter, where Zelda in the past imprisons herself in a seal, so in order to control the seal of the demon god Demise, who later becomes Ganon. She tells Link the plan of the goddess, that she now remembers being the goddess at the same time, and apologizes to him for all of this, and closes that with that she is deeply sorry for all this, and including that the goddess's plan was to make him love her, because then he would do everything in his might to save her and beat the Demon King, and that she put up all these stupid trials in the world in order to shape him into a hero in the first place, which then would benefit him through all the later incarnations as well. But just in this, she directly apologizes to him that this is absolutely cruel and unforgivable and a horrible plan, and that she has to do this because this is a war, because otherwise the world will be destroyed. Zelda does not want to do this. She knows she has to. And that's essentially, you can see that same theme in later games being reflected. Like in Breath of the Wild, Zelda isn't aware of this past of her being the goddess. However, she also entraps herself for 100 years in order to keep Ganon down. She has no time to run around as Sheik.
Also, Wind Waker, where she doesn't even know she's Zelda at all until the very end.
Yeah.
And even when she is Zelda, she still kicks ass with you in the final battle.
Well, pretty much, yeah. Anyway,
and the Twilight Princess too.
Yeah, and essentially, this guy is simply lying. Whether he played the games or not, he's just lying.
Like before.
Fucking Liara.
He's lying like before, yes.
All right, here is Matthew Valente. Thank you for the 5. Why do people like shows like Adventure Time, Steven Universe, and Gravity Falls so much? They're awful. That's a rather change of topic.
Okay, my last thing on Zelda, it's like she has, ever since Ocarina of Time, with the exception of Skyward Sword, has taken a legitimate proactive role in helping you in the final battle. And the lead up to it.
Mm-hmm.
So
in Skyward Sword, she simply couldn't.
Yeah, she could. Yeah, I mean, she was unconscious.
Yeah.
But to answer the super chat's question of why they still watch it, because unfortunately in the world there are these people known as retards, and we have to accept.
I did like Gravity Falls.
Emotional retards.
Okay, so retards then. Why do you have to complicate it, Eric?
Because this is what we do.
Pretty sure Gravity Falls is one of those shows that never took that nosedive into being awful. It was always good.
It just has the Keller style, and I think it gets retroactively shed on because of the style.
It was still good.
I don't know.
Because I did like it. I did like the writing. You have to imagine this was a show for kids, for juveniles, and it had this whole.
Kids. Not just for kids, but for kids on. But it was also on Disney.
Yeah, but that aside.
Oh, it was?
I'm not. It's not about the Space Wizard bullshit argument. I'm saying this is a cartoon for kids, not for adults, And on that level, it's okay. Its writing is okay. And what it did, what made Gravity Falls special, is that it littered the episodes and the ending, of course, with hints as if you are the detective or the conspiracy theorist, essentially, because you are uncovering the great mystery of Gravity Falls. You could do this as the viewer.
A mystery that spans literally the entire show and beyond.
Yeah.
Especially with that whole hunt for the Bill Cipher statue too. That was my mind fuck.
Yeah, and that is what made that a very, very special thing.
Yes.
Most of the other Keller stuff, yes, that is just trash.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Let's get back onto the video. We got 2 minutes left.
Yay.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We're all pretty depressed, but how do we fix this? Yes, that is the Little Rascals. I'll be addressing that in a moment. Here's the thing about that 47%. When you go out and say to gamers, 47% of gamers are women, what you're going to get is, yeah, but they're not playing real games. You're going to hear that.
Nobody says this.
Make you angry. Feel free to punch those.
I never heard that.
Stupid faces, by the way.
Casual games are real
What
games.
you
They're
need
just
to do
casual
then
games.
Is address the fact that, look, Nintendo are very good at being inclusive and getting, women and men playing. Mobile gaming and the indie gaming scene, that's where most women are playing their games. That's because for the past decade, these developers and these particular companies have been trying actively to include women. You don't have to exclude them. That's what
What? No, they haven't.
The game development industry has a big clubhouse with boys only written on the front, right? And there's a couple of dudes sitting in the corner, hunkering away.
So who cares?
The stupid, smelly girls. You don't smell, by the way. You smell great. And then one of them goes.
Sam.
He looks out, and suddenly he realizes there's girls in the house, and they've been there for a while, and they've invited their friends in, and suddenly the air smells fresher, and the architecture's different, and everything just looks and feels.
No. Oh god. Okay, dude, you have never had an apartment mate that was female.
Yeah.
My god. Anyone who said that women are the cleaner sex, fucking hell. How about you visit a female toilet for once?
Okay.
No, wait, don't do it. But if you visited a female toilet,
Yeah, I've been a janitor. It's oh god, it's bad.
I can tell in pubs especially. It already starts in schools, but they shit on the fucking toilet seat. Do you know why they do that? How they do that? Because there's and all around the toilet seat you find shit. You know why? Because they're so disgusted by germs that they squat on the toilet and try to shit into it, which of course doesn't fucking work. Women are retarded germophobes that shit everywhere. It's disgusting. You have an apartment mate that doesn't wash her fucking clothes or her fucking menstruation clothes for a month or two, and it's just a pile in the corner of a room, and it stinks out in this mosh stench together with dried blood.
Never before has such a hilariously real fact ever been said.
You answered the question I've been holding in my head for 7 years. I could not figure out why they were doing that. That's great.
Is it the toilet stuff or the musk?
Toilet shit, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, it's
like, of all things.
Honestly,
no, they told me. I've had women tell me that they do that. It's the same reason why there's piss everywhere in women's toilets. It's not because they can't aim, it's because they squat on the toilet seat.
Yeah, but Wisp, that explains the shit on the toilet. What about all the shitty handprints all over the walls and everything? I
don't know about that. Depending on the color, it might be fisting into various orifices.
One issue at a time.
we'll
get it later.
Anyway, we have 30 seconds left.
Meanwhile, after that whole lesson in biology,
poor Smud.
Women are not the cleaner sex. Fuck off.
All right. Okay.
Indeed.
Reminds me when I was
Disgusting.
Horse mud.
Let's go.
I can go on for half an hour, but
No.
we'll finish this video now.
No, go. We gotta go.
No, not half
We
an hour.
still got memes to go. No.
It's not half an hour of
Let's go.
shit and period blood. Jesus Christ.
Let's go.
Nicer, and it's a really positive environment. But a few dudes
Oh,
are sitting
God.
in that corner room just scowling.
Okay, you idiot have never worked in an office. So yeah, these people guys like him have not worked at all. He hasn't done physical labor, and he hasn't worked in an office because an office would be stacked with a lot of women. And he's never worked in an environment where there's only women because, my God, that's not a nice environment.
Yeah,
That's the
I-
most passive-aggressive place you could imagine. It's hell.
I used to live in an apartment in Villa Siena. And so my brother told me to go check the hot dog because he already went outside and he forgot in the fucking in the pan. So I went there to the kitchen. I found like one woman literally sleeping on the ground on a fucking. It's soaked with black. I don't know what the fuck it is. I have no idea. and like another one having, sex with a dude, a black dude. And I'm like, I'm making hot dog. What the fuck? It's like, okay. See, this is how.
And then the one idiot that thinks that all the black shit comes from the black dude.
You mean his soul is leaking out?
At least one person that dumb somewhere in the world.
I was like, oh, fuck. It's like I am literally taking out a hot dog. This is not
ridiculous.
This is ridiculous. I don't want to say that word, but it is.
Weird things have happened in the world.
So you see, Paul is super right. Women give so much positivity, sleeping on black shit soaked ground. So much positivity.
Where the fuck have we got? What?
This guy has absolutely no fucking clue about women and female
We're at
environments.
least making a much more
Holy
enjoyable
shit.
video than this half-wit.
No,
I think the more these guys white knight for women.
Period blood and black stains and shit covered toilets.
That's the sad reality. That's the
That's
sad reality that these people deny. And I think the more these people white knight for women, the more they simp for them, the less they know about women. Like it's directly proportional.
I know. It's like the sexism in gaming, and it's just we've lost the plot.
I came here to talk about GTA 5. I'm now on about periods and disgusting apartments with like degenerates. How did this? How? Where?
We haven't yet talked about mold in dishwashers.
Yeah, dishwashers.
Because women are so clean.
Anyway, we have less than 20 seconds. We're going to play the video. Everyone shut up, please. Thank you.
Let's just play.
Yay! We're at the 1 yard line. Let's get it over with.
Pushing girls over and rubbing their faces in the dirt and pulling their hair, which typically is a sign that they're into you, by the way.
I've never seen that.
That's what women do to each other.
But here's what I'd like to say to those stupid, smelly boys. There are new rules on the clubhouse wall now, and it's time to grow up. Thank you very much.
Projection.
Well, how about you grow up?
Thank you.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you.
I'm glad he
You've
never
wasted
listed
everyone's time.
any
Man said
rules.
nothing of worth, and that he gets applause is scary.
It's women.
They get applause because they're like, yeah, men bad. Yeah, that's why they applaud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's see this.
Pander to me. Tell me how awesome I am about a hobby that I have absolutely no interest in.
Yeah, men by
Anyway,
You're streaming this time.
It's pretty much like this. If you just
streaming, yeah.
if you just fucking explain or describe a game for say 30 minutes, they won't fucking give a shit until you say women good. They will literally cheer.
All right, here we go. This is from Rigby. Hey, this is everyone after today's Smudcast. Yeah. That's
Almost.
pretty good.
Spider-Man 3 again.
But are we taking the mask off or are we putting it on?
I think we're putting it on.
Here we go. The clubhouse gets stinky once the girls invite their special friend. Who the hell is that?
Oh. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's
Wow, he managed to predict the end of the stream. That's
Oh my
crazy.
god.
Wow.
That's the devil.
oh, jeez.
Anyway,
Speaking of the devil,
let's get away from that
I
photo.
like
There,
this video.
yeah, there it is. Cuphead, there we go.
You dumbass. Get on top of the block. It jumped.
Oh,
and the
I
stream
just,
got taken down.
yeah, I just looked because I wanted to be live to know which stream memes you're on. Stream is suspended for policy violations. So either it was my ranting or that it's TEDx bullshit.
I think it's the
Wait,
TEDx.
What?
It's probably TEDx.
Oh
yeah.
my god, are you serious?
That doesn't mean we can't look at the stream memes though.
So what happens now?
Oh shit.
Is it still recording though?
Yeah.
Right, let me...
Well, I
It
don't.
says it's on, but it's just a blank screen. Let
Yeah.
me see.
It's just
Like-
stream unavailable. Yeah.
So,
I can't even hear anything. Oh.
oh, now it's no longer being blocked. Look at that.
Oh,
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea why.
Yeah.
For me, it still is. Hold on.
It's backwards and forwards.
We did have
it's-
problems with TEDx before, like a year ago. But
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Weird.
how does Scribelight do it? He doesn't get taken down for he only does TEDx.
Well, way back when we did the regular TED Talks about the guy that's too good for his life, that one got taken down too. So for a little while,
Okay. Ah,
and then
yeah,
we
looks
just
like
kept
we're back.
going. We just kept going
Oh,
with
we're
like
back.
Mass Effect screenshots.
We're back.
I still remember that.
there we go. Here's Mike Testa. Thanks, Mike. Hawk. Wisp, not a fucking word. Wisp. Hello, island friend.
Well,
I had.
we're already done there. Okay.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
all
just get
online gamers need to learn tongue fu.
tongue fu.
Kung Fu.
Oh.
Wow.
There's too much swearing in
Okay,
this
but-
Smudcast. I'm being influenced by the words.
Yes.
Oh,
What is
yeah.
this? Gamer girl, she is even taking talking half of the screen to show her boobs. Yeah? What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
I don't see a problem. There.
Every Twitch girl.
Yeah.
Every Twitch girl, welcome to my stream. We're just having a chat. The stream is Geralt. His bath. Yeah. I heard that what was that service? OnlyFans is removing adult content.
Which at this point is literally all it had.
I know. It's funny.
It's just
Must have been-
it's removing sex, but you can still post nudes. I don't know how that works, but okay.
It must have been bought out by some Puritan or something.
Francis.
Hawk, when he sees a woman, just okay.
That's an incredibly truthful meme. I'm not comfortable with that meme.
It's legit. Oh,
Here's the fix. Oh my god, that actually looks somewhat
Yeah,
decent.
that
I mean,
that kind of works.
yeah.
actually looks like him. Yeah.
But could he? Do you think he could play the character?
Well, no.
I mean, Jet doesn't do that much.
No.
No, he wouldn't be able to do it.
No.
You can't imagine him cutting little bonsai trees.
No.
Why did I think you were going to say cutting little boys?
Bonsai tree. That's because you've been conditioned.
You've been brainwashed.
Here we go. Wisp ranting about how nasty women are. Me trying to remember if he was trying to transition into a female or if I'm thinking of another member of Smud's crew.
Did that happen?
Which one?
I'm pretty sure Wisp already transitioned.
I
mean, this is
Wisp was the one who's transitioning, right? And I was like, yeah.
Already transitioned. Yes.
See, and this is another point where you can distinguish between
someone who has real gender dysphoria and someone who's a transgender. The transgender fetishizes everything women do and they can't do anything wrong. Someone with gender dysphoria sees, oh god, I don't want to be part of this shit. Oh god.
And Wisp is just I don't know what's going on here.
The truth shall set you free.
That's what's his name?
That's Jim Carrey, right?
Yeah, Jim Carrey in the movie where he can't lie.
Liar, liar.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
That is a thing.
So, what'd you guys learn today?
Oh
That
god.
nothing has changed in a decade.
Close to a decade.
Yeah.
Are you alright, Smud?
The real question is, I think the real question is Wisp all right after that big rant?
I only saw the first few minutes of this. And I thought it was gonna be horrible because he made some bad comments.
It was.
Don't tell me that was good.
I think I'm gonna move some furniture after this. Fucking hell.
That's a euphemism for other things, Wisp.
That's a euphemism for throwing it out the window.
For what? Just go to Morocco.
Moving the furniture, moving as in throwing it out the window in a rage.
That is definitely one way to use it.
Okay. There's another way. Is someone using this innocuous sentence as innuendo again?
Well, that's the obvious answer, but yeah.
What is wrong with you people?
Hey, we can't
Everything's about sex with you.
Well, not if it's an innuendo. Then it's implied sex.
None of it could be legitimately funny.
They could be baking pies or something. I don't know. Heavy lifting.
American pies?
Yeah. Anyway, that was horrible. Thank you for.
Well, at least the stream didn't go down during the actual video. It went down to the stream memes, which everyone can see.
Anyway, that was what we expect. So nothing out of the ordinary from TED Talks. So
that was the usual SJW agenda maniac.
Yeah, the last one I remember was that. Well, there's several I remember, but the one that really stuck out was the Dick Society, and that guy going on about how feminism is going to help us all, and we need to learn. Oh my god.
Yeah, the time for feminism helping society has long since passed.
Oh.
And I remember you guys doing the water deserves human rights.
Yep.
I honestly could not sit out through that one. That was insane.
That was amazing. Yeah.
Jesus.
Water is human rights.
I was like, I did you guys ever finish that video? I don't.
I think so.
No.
No. I hope not.
How could you finish that video? Give water human. How? What?
Oxygen is sexist because men have greater lung capacity.
Yeah.
But there are no biological differences between men and women. It's all socialization.
But what if men are smokers?
Biology.
Anyway, folks, that's all for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Keep them coming. Keep in mind also that the end of the month is coming up on Friday, and you all know what that means. So.
Oh no,
oh, Maggie.
No. Oh god. Not the fish.
Oh god.
So thank you so much for tuning in.
Girl.
We're gonna talk to you real soon. Have yourself a great evening. And good night. Bye bye now.
Bye.